All right, welcome everyone. Session 1, Wild Beyond the Witchlight, Feywild Jaunt, but we're not there yet. I guess last week we had Session 0 where we just talked about the campaign in general, how people wanted to see a game run, and then made a bit of a from background, did a little bit of role play with each individual character for getting to your point where you're at the entrance to this carnival. And we have a couple of players absent for today, unfortunately. I think Kat, you were as a bounty hunter out of Waterdeep, Neverwinter, if I recall. So I'm looking off to my side here. If I'm looking at you, you're over there. And you travelled with a partner, the sort of Mulder and Scully type. I don't know if that's the dynamic, but you know what I mean. So there's a couple of investigators. Bounty hunters is probably a level 1 bounty hunter, might be a little bit too stretching the bow a little, the friendship a little bit too far, but or the definition. But investigators nonetheless. But you and Daz, who's we'll just say is off camera for now, is here also because you're from this area and had been to the Witchlight Carnival before and have now had a chance and been assigned to come and do something down here in this direction, and that's just given you an opportunity to once again enter for fun and frolics. Now, hello Hawk. You also happen to have been in the queue and found yourselves along, I think, behind or in front of Daz and Galatea?
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to say something else and you'll go yep as well, I'm sure. Tell me if I'm out. Okay, so yeah, Galatea is you've also been here before, long ago, and I think journeyed here from your tribal group. It's a nomadic group that you're from, a group of barbarian elves, no less. And curiosity, I guess, for all of you, for that matter, has led you here, as well as maybe other motivations as well. And while you were coming in, one by one or in pairs, I don't think I've missed anybody. Oh yeah, Theodore. So there's a fairy with you as well. Is also buzzing about somewhere. If you imagine yourself going to a carnival and you go from stall to stall, someone with your width drops back a little, or says, "Oh, hang on, I'll go and look at this." It would be easy for you to lose track of one another. So easy for us to suspend disbelief with some players not here today. You'd also been encountered a couple of people who've come from the carnival and have been given leave of absence. So they've got their day off. Now, one of them was Selith, a Harangon, so rabbit folk. And she said that she would eventually, she'll come and seek you out, but she's got a shift that she needs to do on one of the rides. And in addition, Odin. Now we're just going to have to retcon this a little bit. There's also a goblin who is at the front counter as well. And oddly, when you arrived, I'm just working through last week's the end of last week's session. Instead of having to buy tickets, the person on the ticket booth said, "Hang on a sec," rummaged around and said, "Oh, you've got some free tickets here, mysterious benefactor," and they've got your names on them. And what's even more strange is there's 5 or 6 tickets, and it's all of you people in line. So somehow you've come together. Not only that, but Odin and Selith your names, and there are tickets there for you as well. You've been on some of these rides before, but in this instance, for this particular carnival, you've got absence of leave of absence. And so I think Odin, you're here to somehow. I think it was Selith that introduced you and said, "Look, I've got I spoke to Mr. Timms. This Mr. Timms is the Tortle, and very ancient Witchlight hand, who Selith and you are both friends with. But she says, "Oh, look, I'll catch up with you guys later. But if you guys can show everyone around and show them the ropes, and I've got my own ticket here, so I might stamp a couple of things as I go. But I'll catch up with you." And so if there's anything, you between the three of you, you're sort of presented with, we don't actually know each other, but what would you say? I'll throw it open to you guys for now.
So does no one else find it concerning that they have our names somehow?
I don't really know. I guess it's a little concerning.
Unusual that there be one for me.
That's true.
I mean, is that normally how it goes? The workers can't just do what they want. You need a ticket.
Yeah. On our off days, we normally have a chance to do a few things. Those, but normally not needing a ticket.
Yeah, you would normally, you might just get a free ride, or when there's a slow time, one of your mates might give you a spin in a ride, or you could practice some things. You wouldn't really do the games as such, because you'd have opportunity to do that over and over and always win. But you've been here for some time, and I guess it's lost its luster some time ago. But yeah, it is odd for you to have a ticket, and so have a certain number of things that you can do as a customer. But whoever supplied these tickets might not have known that, I guess, or there's no accompanying note or anything like that.
Well, I mean, to that point, so you work here, and you don't know how this would happen.
Not quite, no. It's unusual enough for me, but sounds fun. I've never really enjoyed it as part of a group, other than a ride or two by myself, which gets old quick enough.
Why, I suppose so. I think I've been here before. I just can't really remember a lot. It's just weird for me.
It sort of adds to the whimsy of it all, really.
I mean, if you think invasion of personal privacy is whimsy, I can give you that. Well, regardless if we're here, what do we do?
Well, what I'll do for the purposes of this is I will group your tokens together, and we'll move to the map so that you can actually have a look at the map, and I can then describe what you can see beyond, because you're actually within the circus already, or at the entrance, and you've paid and ready to go in. Copy. All right, Witchlight Carnival. Now, we did have a look at this before. And you can hear in the distance a calliope. I'll turn it up a little bit. And what's odd is it drifts across the whole carnival, almost as loud as in your ears, as if you were sitting next to it. And as you've approached up the line, I'm just pasting your characters in here now. So there you go. That should resolve now, and you can see you're at the ticket booth. Just beyond.
It's a very creepy and foreboding tune.
Something I prepared earlier. And if we look over to the big top extravaganza in the top right, I can draw your attention to it. Top right, the other right, left. There's a time counter. And so if you can see on your map of the carnival, and this is effectively what you're looking at here, there's a timer. And you can see I've got a little clown symbol there. And this denotes the sequence of time throughout the evening's events. Sun's just gone down. And there's a big top extravaganza at midnight, and he's the goblin? I forget now. The ticket master looks at you with his spyglass and says, "Make sure you don't miss the big top extravaganza. You'll always remember the events inside that tent. A spectacle. And of course, at the end of the evening, before closing and everyone is asked to leave, there's the crowning of the Witchlight monarch." And you can see that marked on your map. And I'll crank this. The music, I'll generally, what I'll do is, for effect, so you can have a bit of a listen, I'll crank it up at the start and then just move it down so it's more background. Otherwise, and if sometimes I can't hear it as loud or as what you might, so if it is interrupting your train of thought, let me know, and I can always do that. I'll also draw your attention to the bottom corner. And this is just another scale, which we'll come to later on. You can see I've got it right in the middle here. And it's just a scale of clown faces. However, let me have a look. Ticket booth. I'm just going to zoom us right in. Whoop. There we are. Odin, Galatea, and Hallowhawk. And from there, okay, so from the ticket booth, just beyond, you can see and hear the calliope music. Further beyond, there's a big top. And there's a variety of stalls as well. Just to your right, fairly close. I won't say right. Just off to the left or to the west. You can see this giant teapot surrounded in a ring of little huts and shops and tents and things. There's people in stilts walking along. Throwing sweets and flowers, and a lot of festival goers, kids and things running around, picking them up, following around these stilt walkers just inside the booth.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. Either of yours.
Oh, right. Well, I'm Hallowhawk. I travel around, let's say. And you?
Galatea, and that's really all you need to know.
All right.
You may call me Odin, at your service.
Odin's got a tuft of black beard, I think, and a tuft of hair on top, about the same shape and same length. Is that right?
Yep, essentially bald bar, like just a small little tuft of fringe of black hair, the same as it is on the pointy chin.
All right.
Big old dangling earring on his very long heels. Bright green eyes.
So, is that your name, or is that just what they call you?
Oh, that's my name. Picked it myself.
Right.
Well, perhaps we could get more answers if we asked around the park. About our names on the tickets.
Yes, right. Well, Odin, as it were. What is this circus? Pretty sure I've been here before when I was younger, but I don't really remember much.
Guess, well, it's the Witchlight Carnival. It's a rather unique carnival. They'll pop up in places here and there. Full of magical, unique attractions. Fun for all shapes and sizes.
Right. And it's done for money, or?
Yeah.
I mean, I'd imagine that's what a carnival does, right?
Yes. Would be for profit.
Alright, well, who runs this thing?
Ah. Who would that actually be? Would I know?
So, being as a Witchlight hand, and same with Selith would give you the same thing. Is they know that the carnival is run by two mysterious elves called Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. But apart from that, they've had really no dealings with them. These are sort of Witchlight hands are more the people who help set up the tents or run the stalls and things like that. And, far from being main attractions or key personnel. So the Witchlight hands would generally keep to themselves, have the same sort of little ring of caravans and tents, and eat by themselves. You would know of and have met the main attraction type personnel in the place, but you've never even verbally exchanged words that you can remember with the owners. You would have seen them though, two elves in ostentatious gear.
And that was Mr. Light and Mr. Tin, wasn't it?
Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. And as you're I'm going to move you now to another map, just so that we've got some ground. Don't know if you can recognise this Calliope music. It starts to.
Intensity has just amped up, that's for sure.
Brian May's big in Faerun.
Yeah, Queen is everywhere. Okay, you can see there's some stalls here. And this 12-foot tall tree comes striding down the path. It's garlanded in ribbons of gold and marches through the thoroughfare. There's emerald clouds swirling above the tree, and it rains down these golden spinning sycamore seeds. So sycamore seeds are shaped like a propeller, and they'll just and slowly drift down towards you. And fairgoers are thronging around this tree, trying to catch the seeds. And as the seeds gently fall, there's this squirrel scampering amongst its boughs, also handing other treats, looks like flowers or little colourful objects to select passers-by. And this tree passes by yourselves. You're looking a bit uncertain of where to go or what to do. And this tree person sort of smiles at you. This is benevolent smile, and sort of gives a bit of a shake, and all of these sycamore seeds and things come sort of spinning down. And you can see there's a couple of other fairgoers darting here and there trying to catch one. And
peculiar thing.
yeah. Let's see. Just jumping to our chat. Okay, so Galatea, this little red squirrel comes scampering along to you, and hands you a dandelion. It's fluffy, ready to blow. He says, "Hello, miss. This is for you to make a wish." And then he darts off and gives one to you, Hallahawk, and another one to you, Odin.
Oh, why, thank you.
Right.
And so, if you do want to blow and make a wish, don't say it out loud on the on the stream. But what you could do is type your wish into the Roll20 chat, but don't say it out loud.
Galatea is gonna withhold from blowing and just kind of stick it in her belt.
Okay.
Side.
Okay. All right. And the little squirrel points to you and says, "Catch one, catch one." And this is to somebody else, and another person catches one of the sycamore seeds, and then squeals with delight, and then sort of runs off to tell another patron that they're with.
Take in a big old breath and almost suffocate on it before I blow it out.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Hallahawk's kind of off to the side, just kind of look at everyone else to see if their line of sight is kind of waylaid and not like looking at him. He's gonna take a quick puff and blow it.
Okay. Awesome. I'm just going to put the others off to one side here. And Galatea's hanging on to hers. Is that right? Now, what about these sycamore seeds? They're pretty tricky because of the way that they spin as they come down. He says, "Don't let it touch the ground. They'll lose all their juice."
I guess if any comes kind of in my vicinity, I won't go chasing after one, but if there's one that kind of comes near me, I'll try to. Yeah, okay. Try to laxidate snatch it.
Okay, so if there's a wedding bouquet going over someone's shoulder, you're not like climbing over 20 people to try and grab it. But if it comes your way,
I'll let fate choose me.
Okay. Well, lo and behold, one does choose you, but you're going to have to do some work. Can you do a dexterity check? Just a straight D20. How did you go? Oh, a 3, a natural 1. Is that right? No, am I reading that? So you sort of buddy fingers it, and it hits your hand a couple of times, slits through your fingers, and then blonk and lands. And there's this little puff as it lands. Sorry, I've got a bit of a cold, so I'm every now and then muting. You'll realise why.
First roll of the game, guys. We're doing good.
All right, let's get that out of the way. Is anyone else wanting to grab one of these things?
Galaxy is gonna just kind of watch everybody and see what to do with it. She's very confused.
Okay.
I would try and grab a handful of any that were within a half foot around me.
Yeah, sure. Okay, do your dex check as well. How'd you go? Call out your number so that I...
That's a
Who's Goblin?
Oh my god.
Is that 20?
Natural 20. Okay, all right. So you're like Mr. Miyagi with the flies. Can you roll a d8 and see what happens as you feel this magic being expended?
It's an 8.
An 8. Okay, you get you get the luck of the sycamore suffusing you, and it's a little bit like inspiration. You get a d8 that you can roll whenever you want to, and add it to any ability check. It'll last till the next dawn. And you see someone else grab one, and theirs turns into, and you see some sort of teenager say, "Oh, gold!" And that's paid for my ticket. And one sycamore seed turned into a gold piece.
Gotta keep it.
Okay. The little squirrel says, "You can have another try," and you can see it's sort of raining down. This treant sapling looks down at you, smiles benevolently again, and does another shake, and then just goes to speak to you. "I grow fruit."
Right. Should we eat it?
"I grow fruit."
Well, ask and answer, I suppose.
Yeah. "I grow fruit."
Is there fruit visible?
No. Oh yeah. There are fruit visible. Or at least, you don't know what they're going to turn into. I'm not ripping off Guardians of the Galaxy at all here.
Well, if this benevolent gentleman grows fruit, is any in arm's reach?
Yeah, with a bit of a jump, with a bit of a acrobatics or athletics. It's far from a treant, you're not going up, 6 meters or so, but you might be able to reach up and grab a piece of fruit.
Could you pass me one, too?
See what I can do. He's pretty insistent on it,
Okay.
and I will try to do so.
Okay. Dexterity. Athletics or acrobatics. It's either a big jump, so strength. Okay.
18.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay, and you come down with 2 apples. They're a little bit small, but but they look ripe.
All right, here you go.
Okay. Pass one to Odin.
Your thing didn't turn into gold like that person's to do it. What does yours do?
It's a seed. It's lucky to catch a seed, so I'm gonna hold on.
Right.
I love apples. May I have yours?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, he asked for it. You can have mine.
Oh, thank you. Seems like such a bizarre thing.
"I grow fruit." And he sort of gestures at what's in your hand.
Oh, go on. He seems expectant.
Yeah, I'm feeling really right now. Yeah. Take a bite.
Take a bite.
That's all like Galatea.
Okay. So for you, Odin, you take a bite, but it doesn't seem to be infused with the same magic as the sycamore seed when you first touched it. But for Galatea, can you roll a D8 for me as well? How'd you go?
6.
Okay, so two things happen. The remaining part of the apple that you have in your hand turns into a gold piece. But you fear, and you are quite surprised by that, amused by it. In fact, so much so that this has lightened your mood, Galatea. So much so that you have gained a new personality trait. And at least for the next 24 hours, until the next dawn. That trait is, I am easily amused. And if you've got any conflicting character trait, like, your Clint Eastwood, Charles Bronson, whatever, that personality is suppressed for the next 8 hours, and then normal services resume.
Oh, wow. And this place seems to give out gold. How does it make a profit?
You'll end up spending it.
Fair enough.
That's interesting though anyway. I wonder what happens to the rest of the apple you swallowed. Does that turn into a coin?
You'll find out.
I really hope not.
Right, did it taste like an apple?
Yeah.
Might.
Well, this place certainly is something else.
It truly is. What a bizarre thing.
Well, if you want to visit an attraction, we might come across someone that knows why there were tickets there. That would be a Witchlight, and the ones manning them might know more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I guess so. That's kind of cheap on my mind, but I mean, you work here, lead on.
Okay. I saw that they have this Silver Song Lake thing. Why don't we all go there first?
It's as good a start as any.
Silver Song.
Great.
Okay. So you stroll through the carnival. I think the Silver Swan Lake is towards the north end of the carnival. I think it might be in your journals. I think I shared the map of the carnival in your journals as well, so we don't need to switch to the map itself. And as you're walking there over the course of that, because that's quite a hike, sort of like when you go to the zoo, you sort of look at the map and sort of pick your way which path you're going to go. If you go, I'm going to see the lions, and you go poof, and then you've got to walk across the thing, and if you might find yourself zigzagging, but at least initially you're not tired or anything, all excited about everything that you're experiencing. Someone calls out to you, hey, would you like to play this game? One punch is all it takes. And I'll display what you see in the chat. Whoops. There we go. There's a statue of a rabbit with floppy ears, and it's got a unicorn's horn, a golden unicorn's horn poking out above its head, like a unicorn. This Almirage is no mirage. Adorn its horn with 2 or 3 rings and win a prize. And you can see people are, they've got their tickets, and what they're doing is handing the ticket over, and the person in the booth will punch their ticket. So you've got 8 each, and so you can do 8 rides or 8 events or 8 things, and you're in a bit of a sideshow rally that you've walked through, and there's lots of these games you can join in. And this one looks like it's, you need to be pretty agile to do this. You're trying to flip a ring, a hoop, over the top of the horn of this Almirage. And he looks to you and say, "Oh, you all looked very nimble. Elves and goblins each. Fancy testing your skill against the Almirage."
Oh, hello, Hawk. You look very spry. You should try.
I suppose so. Odin.
Yeah.
And I kind of lean down, which is a little bit of a distance to close. Well, give it to me straight. These things rigged.
You're so silly, hello, Hawk.
And as you watch Hallowhawk and Odin, the three of you, in fact, you see someone having a go, and it seems as at random intervals around the tabletop where the Almirage is sitting, someone goes to throw the hoop and it's spinning through the air about to land, and the Almirage does a shadow step, and purple mist appears at its feet, and it disappears and then appears somewhere else, and the ring misses, landing exactly where it was. But the person running this says, "Oh no! Oh, you've got to be quicker than that. You've got to catch the Almirage. He'll move if you take too long." But here you go, and you can see that everyone, for their hole punch, they get 3 ring tosses.
Well, if you insist, good. What was it again?
You pass your ticket? Oh yeah, sorry. That's it.
Galatea?
Galatea. Oh, all right. Why not? We're here.
All right.
And I will just kind of hold it out.
Okay. So you do that, you hold it out, he punches it, and he gives you 3 golden hoops. And he says, "I'm sure you can do it. You look very agile. Gather round, people. We may have a winner."
Oh, God.
Go on, hello, Hawk. You can do it. I'm here for you.
Be shy.
Okay, Hallowhawk. Now you can watching this, a couple of people go, you can see that it does. It's once it appears, it does stay. It's not completely random. It'll stay for a few seconds and then pop, then pop, then pop, and pop about the place. And so if you're quick, as soon as it appears, you could go for it, but you just don't want to take too long with it. So you get a chance, and you can try and toss this ring. It'll take a dexterity check. If you have any other special skill that might help, then let me know. But otherwise, it's a straight dexterity or a proficiency.
So kind of looking at the setup here, it's like just a square wooden table with this rabbit.
Yep.
Facing me. Yeah.
Yes.
Looking past the table, what's like behind it? Is it like immediately tent wall, or is there like a little bit of space and then tent?
There's a little bit of space, and the person who clips the tickets and hands out the prizes and whatnot is behind that table, and there's prizes up behind them on the wall.
Okay. So I guess I will kind of get my first ring. Kind of like little mini frisbee, kind of turned up.
Okay.
I'm going to just kind of watch, see if it's gonna bamf. I'm gonna try to wherever it immediately comes up, just kind of lock on and go.
All right, go for it. Dexterity. 17. All right, so you hook it. The ring lands, and he goes, "Whoa! I told you, everyone, gather round. First time up, he's got one. Get one more, and there's a prize in it."
Good job, hello. Keep going.
No pressure.
Right. I'll take the second one, and yeah, just kind of.
Okay.
We'll toss it out.
Do you have acrobatics? Sorry.
Acrobatics. I'm not proficient, but I got something in it.
Okay, all right. So it's a straight dexterity. If let's say you had sort of the thrown weapon style for fighting, or something along those lines. Okay, that's fine. Straight roll. Then here we go. Oh, we've got a 6. Okay, so in this one, it's quite a heavy miss, and although the thing doesn't teleport, the ring misses this one. Now, you've got one more to go, and there's a crowd. Ooh, one more ring, one more toss will get you a prize. And I'm gonna, because I said to Morello I was NPCing her for today, and one of your peers, one of your colleagues off camera, is going to give you a guidance. That's going to give you a plus D4. Still a pretty hard toss though. Third one up. Drum roll.
So what I'm going to do, just kind of like in a showy flash and kind of give it a little bit of its own.
Right.
I'm going to give it kind of like tuck the arm, behind the other arm, like I'm ready to go, and then I am actually going to. No, that's the wrong one. I'm going to Blessing of the Raven Queen.
Ooh.
Behind the table.
Yeah.
Right before I tuck the ring in it.
Okay. So you magically teleport. So where are you teleporting to?
So that little space behind the table. So I'm behind it.
Okay.
And then just kind of throw it at it.
All right. Okay, so I'll give you advantage on your throw. Is that what you mean? You're just going to use your teleport to get closer?
Well, now I'm thinking about it, that might be against the rules. That's what I was going for.
I was gonna ask.
Not to get closer, but just give it a bit of its own medicine and just kind of be all tricksy.
Oh, I see. So you're going to throw it and then teleport to make it showier.
No, the intent was to teleport first and then throw it. But if that does put me closer, I don't want to
Okay, all right. Oh, you can still do it just to make it flashier, but not to give you some sort of advantage. No problem.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
Okay.
don't want to cheat. It's like, just give it a bit.
Okay. I thought you were teleporting next to it and going plonk. All right. Way you go. You can roll your D4 with that as well. We'll add them together. Oh, 17 straight up. Didn't even need the guidance. All right. The crowd, whoa, he got it. And then people start queuing up to get their ticket punched. Now, carnival prizes. He reaches under the table and says, for you. And can you roll a D8? Okay. All right, and he pulls out this bottle with liquid in it. And he says, this is a bottle of Witchlight wine. And while the bottle is uncorked, it plays calliope music until the bottle is empty of wine. And you can, if you put your ear up to it, you can hear they're just very faintly calliope music. But he says, once you've uncorked it, so for the time that you're partying, you'll have calliope music playing while you're drinking this. Until the bottle is drained, of course.
Right, that's quite interesting.
Witchlight wine. And there you go. Now with that, I'm just going to drag us back to the carnival main map, just to give you an idea of where you're heading. And with all of this raucous happiness of everyone. You've won a prize. You've done a sort of flashy, smoky sidestep. Is the music coming from the calliope across the fairground, floating towards you, seems to pick up its pace a little. And I'll get each of you, 3 of you, to roll a perception check, please. Oh, Odin, you were yawning at the time and missed it with a natural 1. But both, okay. Hello, Hawk. You can hear this slight pickup in pitch of the calliope. Galatea, you're actually looking at something like some colourful ribbons or a tent roof and whatnot. And just as the joy of a successful patron coming washes through the crowd where you are, the colours get a little bit brighter. The fair itself seems to be responding to your success. And I'm just going to move this old clowny face 1 notch that way. Just here. And I'll shift us back to our map.
It almost seems brighter.
Right.
Is it?
What do you mean? It's night.
I don't know. It just seems brighter. Like the circus itself is enjoying the day with us.
Right.
Right. Okay. Did anyone want to do any other of these sideshow alley games? There's probably one for each ability score. You know, there's ones that are strength based. You know, whack the thing. There's you go past one and someone calls out, "Oh, good sirs, good ladies, good people, good folk, will you dare the poetry competition?"
Oh, hello, Hawk. I definitely think you should do that as well.
What are you on about?
I just think that you're really good.
You just have to make up poems on the spot.
You met me half an hour ago.
Yes, but wouldn't it be amusing? You must try.
Well, I will admit I am having a spot of fun here. This is it's quite unique.
Yes, your grim expression looks very thrilled.
And you can see that there's a bunch of people, and I can show you, I think, a gnome poetry contest. Yeah, sound the chime, it's time to rhyme. You bring the poem, we'll bring the noem.
She'll kind of push you, like, go, do it.
Well, I will be honest. I learned a song or two in travels around these parts. Gods will hear, aren't we?
Okay, and there's a guess the number of feathers on the cockatrice. There's a quite difficult one where there's this ring of ropes in a circle with stakes, and there's this cyclops, enormous, probably 20 foot tall, but it's sitting cross-legged in the lotus position, and it is with its one eye staring at this halfling that's got its knuckles on its hips and staring right back at him. And there's all these people saying, "Who's going to blink first?" It's a staring competition.
Oh, gods. Well, I tell you what, Galatea, whatever. I'll do this wordplay one if you and our green friend here do that very imposing looking one.
I guess so. Are you up for it, Odin?
I'm up for it. Got a pretty mean eye myself.
Same. Then it's war.
Okay.
to half hopeful, half trepidatious, kind of walk up to the poem one.
Okay, and I'll show you a bit of a handout. Poetry. There we go. You should see that coming up. And you're invited up onto the stage. And there is a goblin with the same butterfly wings that you all have, just strapped onto his back. And then he just comes off, sort of shaking his head. He must have just lost to the gnome that is also on the stage. And then the gnome says, come on up, next poet.
All right, and I'm going to kind of hold my ticket up.
Okay. All right.
Is there like anyone else in front of me, or just?
No. You can go now. There's a bit of a lull.
Just kind of just head up.
Okay.
Do we get an actual poetry slam here?
He looks at you, and he calls to the crowd, and he says, "I am a gnome who likes to dance," and he sort of gives a nodding wink to the crowd, and they go, "Ooh." "What about you, perchance?" And they go, "Oh," and some of them cringe. And then he sort of hands it over to you. This is like Eminem at age 3.
There once was a Alaskan Faerun who made all the men's flowers bloom. Along came a man and kissed her on the hand, but when his wife came home, it spelled his doom.
And the crowd goes, "Ah!" All right. Oh, awesome. So can you roll me a performance check with advantage? And we have... Where is it? Oh, an 18. All right. Okay, so you get awarded whether you win or not by the crowd's reaction, and of course, the crowd goes wild for your little limerick, and the gnome sort of thinks to himself, let me see. He thinks to himself, and the crowd goes tick tock, and looks like they're going to start booing him if he doesn't think of something fast. But his little 2-line one was a bit of a struggle, and then he goes, "Oh, I've got it." Okay. "She'll promise you riches from the vault that you're thieving, and cut you with words and not care that you're bleeding. But she needed a friend, and that's what I will be. She looks like a gnome, but she's always a princess to me." And he's got a bit of Billy Joel look about him. "She looks like a princess to me." And then he starts to go, "Oh!" And he says, I haven't finished it. Anyway, over to you. And the crowd's, "Hey, there's, oh, that's fantastic." And then he throws over to you.
voice. Maybe he should run on home, as he's not the people's choice.
Ooh, burn! Okay, give us another performance check with advantage. Oh, we've got a 10 and an 11. I think they, in this instance, they preferred the Billy Joel. Okay. Okay, he says, I've got it. He says, I don't believe in an interventionist God, but I know, Hallowhawk, that you do. If I did, I would kneel down and ask him to teach you how to keep a tune.
Burn.
And they don't quite get it, the crowd, because he has to roll a performance check too, and he sort of stumbled and stuck over that one. Okay, so I'm going to get you to roll. Let's see. We won't keep dragging it on and keep going until you get 3 successes. I'm not going to draw you out over it. But you can roll another performance check, please. Unless you've got one up your sleeve that you've been dying to get off your chest.
If it gives me advantage, I'll try to string these words that rhyme together.
Do that. It'll get you advantage if you can crank it out.
Ladies and gentlemen, look at the time. It seems that our friend has lost his rhyme. I can almost see Mr. Witch and Mr. Light coming over to wish him a very good night.
Oof. Okay, I'm going to class that as, because you had 2 pairs there. You can have 2 performance rolls with both with advantage. You're only looking for a 15. Well, we've got a 19, and we've got the 6 and the 12. Okay, so let's see, what have we got? We've got one pass, and 2 fails. Now you get to do 5 poems in this, and you need to have 3 successes. So you've got one more shot at winning a prize.
You got this, Hallowhawk. You got this. Don't let him get to you.
The crowd is on tenterhooks because this is like the best of 5, and you've got 2, and you've only got 1 shot left.
Use your height advantage.
Use your dexterity. Do you want to just do a straight roll, or do you want to come out with another 2-liner for us?
No, I don't want to drag this out too long. I can do this.
Tick tock.
Well, the tree that dropped an apple at its feet, he went and took a big bite. He thought it would turn out sweet, but in the end, he didn't feel all right.
Oh, very good, very good. Good to have your advantage. Go for it. You need your 15. Oh no! Oh, very good try. Very good try, Sir Elf. But this day was not yours. And you see what was it, the gnome? No, the goblin that went off before you. We can do it. Do another one. Clip another ticket.
No, that's quite all right. Yeah. And I'm going to walk off.
Okay. All right. Cut your losses. Now on your token, I'll show you. I don't know if you're familiar with that. In Roll20, if you click on your token and then go to the bottom one where you can put dots, if you hover over a dot, and then put a 2, like I've just done there for you. You type 2 and it puts 2 in the red dot, so you can keep a track of how many tickets you've had clipped. Can you see that? Are we on the right one here? Yeah, we are. Yep. So you can see Hello Hawks had 2 ticket punches. Now, Galatea, mist gathers at the banks of a shimmering lake. Near its centre, a mermaid lounges in a giant bowl. And I can show you a handout here. And a lot of people are thronging around the edges of the lake and with rapt attention. And near its centre, you can hear the mermaid in the bowl, and she's singing a glorious, haunting song, captivating everyone on the lakeshore. And as she sings, the water of the lake rises up and coalesces into like magical 3D sculptures that sort of move around the lake around her as she performs. Now, it doesn't cost anything don't have to punch a ticket to come and behold this, what is clearly a star attraction. There's a large crowd around.
Odin, do you see this? Isn't that magnificent?
It is. I always love the strange and unusual effects that they add a bit of flair to their stuff.
Oh, she looks beautiful from here.
She does.
You're remarking to one another on how incredible Palash's song and performance is. You can hear someone from the crowd say, "You sound like a soggy crow." A heckler. And she's...
Am I nearby at this point?
Sorry?
Am I nearby at this point, or I'm just...
Yeah, all 3 of you are there. I was just saying Galatea is probably ahead, being the one eager to see it, that's all. You're all there. And she sort of, you can see her eyes sort of look in that direction, but she carries on her performance.
I'm going to smack him in the back of the head.
I'm kind of go on Galatea. Don't like confrontation.
Not like hard, but more of a...
Who, the heckler?
Yeah.
Hard to see in the crowd, but Hello Hawk, I'll give you a perception check. How'd you go?
8.
Okay. What about you, Odin? What are you up to?
Probably getting away from the heckler.
Okay.
Stay away from that sort of business.
Yeah, yep. Okay. Yeah, sorry, you don't actually know. You know the direction, but you don't spot who said it. And but it sounded like quite a deep, throaty, eloquent voice. I went a bit Aussie with mine. It was, "You, sir, sound like a soggy crow, madam." Okay, but she carries on.
How cool. What would be the point to come if you're just going to heckle the entertainment?
Some people get entertainment from it.
Not nice.
And after a little while, she goes back into her performance, so she doesn't pause. There's another voice from another part of the crowd, different area. Oh my God, when is she going to stop? This is ridiculous. Again, that same voice.
Hey, button it up before it's stitch shot.
Yep. Do you want to do your perception check and see if you can spot him, this heckler? All three of you can have a roll if you want.
17 on my end.
Ooh, okay. So with that 10 for Odin and 13 for Galatea. So with that 17 though, you do see someone through the crowd. Odd voice for a hobgoblin. And let's have a look. Okay, and this hobgoblin doesn't appear to have seen that you have seen him.
Okay. Yeah, I'd still like to try to
Do the clip.
To him on that.
Do you, call out to him or something? Sorry, I'll let you go.
Oh yeah, no, just so I can see him. I'll still call out what I did earlier.
Yeah, okay. All right. So you reprimand him, and he sort of looks taken aback that he's been accosted, but challenged. He says, "Oh." And then sort of walks off into the crowd. Then I'm off then. And Palasha moves on with her song. It's probably a 5-minute performance. About a couple of minutes more in, you hear the same voice again, but from way over on another, probably 50 feet away from you in the crowd. Ha! She's going to choke. But it's the same voice.
Gods.
And I'll let you all have perception checks to see if you can spot the heckler. Oh, Galatea. Oh, we've got a 5, we've got a 3, we've got an 8. Oh my God.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, all right. So Galatea, you actually rolled. Oh no, where is it? I'm just boggled. Okay, all right. So none of you spot it. You're all watching Palasha, and Palasha does stop after the 3 jeers, and she the water statues just splash as if they're a bubble that's been popped, and Palasha sort of leaps over the bowl and then splashes into the lake, and sort of with a flap of its tail swims under, does a bit of a duck dive.
No, Odin, isn't there like security or someone who could do something about that? That can't be right.
They can't be everywhere. I do hate it when they would heckle.
Mm.
I almost prefer when they get physical. I hate verbal stuff.
Odin, you did recognise the voice. It sounded a little bit like one of the performers at the show, a mime called Candlefoot. Candlefoot's not a hobgoblin, by the way, but the voice did sound like Candlefoot's. They might have gone to the same upper crust school.
I don't know who that first guy was, but the other guy. Candle.
Mm. All 3 voices sounded the same voice.
He works here. He's in mine.
That's unacceptable.
Mm.
Well, I know where I'd like to go next.
Okay.
So, Odin, where does this mime work?
Where does it work?
Okay, I'll check that. Okay, so being a a mime. He sort of is like the stilt workers. He would walk around doing performances in the street. Whoops.
He's not likely to be anywhere specific. He wanders about in his own tame performances. If he,
Well,
I imagine then he likely does that to other acts if he does that to Palasha, actually.
well. If you know what he looks like, just keep an eye out while we move on. Just for my own interest, let's say. Also, Galatea.
Yes.
I would just like to posit that I am slightly regretful of letting you talk me into that. That was not something I'm accustomed to. But you do, if I believe, have a staring contest to undertake.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yes.
I thought you were very good. Very impressed.
Yes, I was very impressed as well. You're amazing. It was quite amusing.
Now those were just reworked songs I've heard just moving up and down the coast. Nothing special. Looks like they were wanting some more of the bardish inclination, which is not me.
Okay.
But lead on, Odin. I want to see what happens when you lose a staring contest with an ogre.
I'm ready.
Okay. All right. So you are taken, and I've got. Did I show you this handout? I'm not sure if I did or not.
The map?
No, they're staring.
Staring one, I don't think so.
Oh no, I don't believe so.
Here we go. Okay, so Odin, you are presented with this enormous, he's probably 3 times as tall as you, just sitting down, Cyclops. What do you do? What do you do when the eye of the Cyclops falls upon you? You stare right back if you have the stamina. And so you clip your ticket, mark off your 1 on your token, and you come into the ring. There's a rope barricade, and you easily just move that aside and step in. And then the Cyclops blinks a couple of times and looks around at the crowd. And then there's a couple of adjudicators, and they're both one looking at the Cyclops, one looking at you, and they're going to indicate when they see you blink. Of course, you're looking at the Cyclops, and you'll see when it blinks as well. And you're just standing there staring at this Cyclops. You do it for, 10, 20 seconds. Your eyes start watering. And this is going to take a bit of an effort. The Cyclops seems to be just bearing down on you. Could you roll a Constitution check for me? If there's anything else, any other skill or anything else you want to bring to bear, you can let me know. But otherwise, it's just a straight, con check.
Yeah.
You might have some proficiencies or something that I'm not aware of.
No. Only thing I could think of might be interfering too much. So
Okay.
I'll just go ahead and make a con save. Wasn't it?
Okay. All right. Yep. Con save. Constitution check, not a saving throw.
Check. Yeah.
Oh, we have a 12. Okay, so let me see. Okay, this monstrosity is staring down at you, and you end up blinking and looking away. It's too much. The Cyclops, he spent his life staring. Do you want to have another try?
I do. I was warming up my neck.
Okay.
Get a cricket.
All right. Go for it. How did you go? 5. Oh my god. Okay. All right. Try another one.
Oh, it's another.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. Okay.
Fine.
So what's happening is, as you try, it's just like if you're trying to do something like tie a knot or pick a lock or something along those lines, and you can't. It's not just once you try then you fail, but if you try again, the DC difficulty goes up each time, and eventually you become exhausted and you just can't do it. And this Cyclops has bested you, unfortunately, and the crowd. Some people turn away, and others they look sort of apprehensively at this Cyclops. Was it just Odin that's doing that, or Galatea, were you doing the Cyclops as well?
I was doing the Cyclops as well.
All right, so you do the high five and tag out and tag in with Odin. And once again, you come in here and you're faced with this Cyclops, blinks a couple of times, and then gazes down upon you. Can you do your con check for me? Unless you've got something else, other. How'd you go? Oh, we have a 12. Same start as poor Odin there, who's still rubbing his eyes and gotten the Visine out. Have your second shot. See if it's all downhill from here. Oh, 15. All right. You steel yourself and stare at this ogre that starts sort of sweating. Can you roll one more check? Oh, okay. All right. So once again, he's bested 2 of you now, and you've blinked and looked away. And so if you guys clip your...
Tough ogre.
Yeah, it is. And then your tickets are clipped. And I'm just going to move back. Actually, we might stay here. Just because then you can see what things you want to do. That's what I was checking for you, wasn't I? You were asking about where this mine was. Yeah, okay. I forget, what was his name again? I have to jump back to Silver Swan Lake.
What was it?
Candlefoot, that's right. Okay. Candlefoot usually operates outside the Hall of Illusions. I don't know if you can see that on your map there somewhere. There we go, yeah, pinged it. Over past the Bubbletop Teapot and the Pixie Kingdom.
If you wanted to, Halahawk, I know where he normally is, over by one of my favourite places, the Hall of Illusions.
Okay. Did you want to...
Well, now Odin, granted that staring contest ain't the most exciting thing at a carnival, albeit unique. What's it look like over at the Hall of Illusions?
That's the thing. You'll find out, I suppose.
Fair enough.
All right. So you head over to the Hall of Illusions, and there's a glass cabinet Let's see. Stands near the entrance to the tent. And a bit beyond is the Hall of Illusions. There's a couple by the tent, a halfling couple. Seems like this whole fair is pretty popular with the halflings. There's
in that,
Sorry, what's that?
Oh, unless you had something more, I was just going to say, in this area, are there any interesting looking games about? Keep my
There's an interesting statue inside the glass cabinet. It's a wooden mannequin of a grinning, raven-haired young woman. She's sort of dressed more like a witch, a young witch, green flowing cape, hovering inside the glass cabinet. So it's almost floating behind her as if there's a breeze. And at the top of the cabinet there's a sign, and it says, "This is Tasha the wizard, known for her hideous laughter." And there's a couple holding hands as you approach the cabinet to have a look. One of the halflings has got butterfly face paint, something that you could get done. And he drops to one knee and gets a box out of his pocket. And you can see, something's about to go down. And at that point, his sweetheart bursts into laughter, and you just absolute hysterics, and begins rolling around on the ground. And this male halfling with the blue butterfly face paint begins sort of looking around as if he's just been stabbed in the heart, and he begins sort of sobbing and then darts into the nearby tent. He doesn't get his ticket punched, he just sort of dashes in there. Everyone can have a history check, just to see if anything is recalled from what we're talking about here. Oh, Odin, natural 20. Boomski, you are near the Hall of Illusions. Okay, Odin. Tasha was one of the names reputedly used by Igwilf, the Witch Queen, a legendary archmage. And you can feel a bit of magical aura emanating from this mannequin and the cabinet.
Well, that didn't quite go as you'd expected.
I find it kind of amusing, honestly.
Yeah.
Huh, I guess that was kind of funny.
Now I slowly feel a little bad for him. I wonder if he's okay.
Eventually,
he'll get over it.
Eventually, the lady halfling recovers and sort of looks around as if she's looking for her partner.
Oh, he went that way.
And she says, "What happened?"
You just thought he was the funniest thing.
Oh, no, certainly not. He's a strapping young man.
Right, I'm sure.
He went.
Positive he's in a bad way right now, though.
Oh, will you go to him? His name's Reuben Sugarfoot.
Of course. Right, Halahawk?
Yeah.
Odin?
Sure.
She's wringing her hands. Oh my gosh, what have I done? I've ruined it.
It's fine. We'll go fix it.
Odin and Galatea, can you roll a wisdom saving throw? Okay, so
Or-
Galatea, you're talking there to what's her name? To this halfling, and you hear a bit of a chuckle to your left, and Odin seems to be trying to hold back a laugh, and eventually, and eventually he can't even stand up. He falls over and he's just rolling around on the floor. Yep.
What are you doing?
And you feel yourself overcome by the uncontrollable urge to laugh maniacally, Odin.
Yee?
You can sense it. You can sense it coming from the mannequin. After a minute or so, it dies down, and you recover your senses.
Oh, my cheeks hurt.
Right, was it really that funny?
No. I think the mannequin's doing something.
Yeah, you can sense that getting too close to this glass cabinet, you could fall victim to Tasha's hideous laughter just from proximity.
How amusing.
One of the ways to get a laugh at the carnival. Shall we find Ruben? The little guy.
Yes, let's do.
Right, yes, stay here, we'll find them.
Okay. So the three of you head over to the tent. It's a tent of illusions that he's darted into. Large tent painted with a mural of shifting images that show grinning fairies diving into pools of colour. The stripes of the tent's pointed canopies rotate in spirals. So, the stripes that you see with, it's almost as if the tent is spinning, but it's the colours of the tent stripes. The whole display seems designed to befuddle onlookers. There's a clown dressed in muted garb, and he stands at the tent's entrance just blinking at you. Odd to see, it's a clown dressed in grey. He's got a grey nose, grey hat, and so on. And it looks like this clown is the ticket puncher.
Okay.
Odin, maybe we can, maybe without punching our tickets, we could get in by you mentioning that you work here. And we're looking for a friend.
Yeah. Hey there, fella. A little guy ran in here. He didn't get his ticket punched. I don't think I work here. We're gonna go get him.
He just shrugs at you, looks very glum, and then he points at his mouth and opens his mouth as if to talk to you, and nothing comes out. Shrugs. It's really funny that it's while he's dressed in grey, as you get closer, it's more like the colour is leached from him. So even his skin, complexion, even his hair, rather than being that sort of maybe ruddy brown or something, is sort of muted. As if someone sort of highlighted him and changed the colour scheme to be muted. And you recognise this guy as you come closer. He might have used to be dressed in colour, but this is Candlefoot.
Okay. Candlefoot. Hell is
Odin,
good. Yeah.
this is Candlefoot?
Is Candlefoot.
Oh gods, I do see what you mean. He is shit at this.
Didn't we? You said that sounded like Candlefoot over there, the heckler, right? This doesn't seem right.
Did? I did.
He's listening to you, and he looks quizzically at you, and then points at his mouth as if he's voicing something, but nothing comes out.
Seems like he's lost his voice, and yet we heard his voice right over there.
He gestures with his hand like a pen and a paper or something, and then shrugs.
Hallock, do you have a scribbler thingy? Like what he's gesturing for?
Where are you from? You call quills scribbler thingies. What else do you know?
I've got a book and ink and pen. Like books. Here.
Okay. So I won't. We won't try to. No. He writes. My voice is gone. My voice was stolen.
Stolen. Interesting.
Yeah.
Is that so?
Is that common here, Odin? These things? Is it like a game?
Nothing you would have heard of.
Not that I've heard of.
Oh no, we need to help this poor unfortunate soul.
I'm sorry, buddy.
But Odin, you are sure this is the same person?
Well, this is Candlefoot, but now that you mention it, the one we saw earlier.
You would have heard Candlefoot talk like this.
Yeah.
And he gives you that whole mime, sad clown thing where he goes to sing and looks around questioningly. He sort of pleads with you, points at his voice. You can get an idea that if he's asking if you can find a way for him to get his voice back.
A mime that lost his voice. Right. And I'm gonna whack him inside the head.
That's so amusing, actually. I didn't even think about that. Oh, but not that amusing. I mean, we'll help you.
Yep, okay. He sort of rubs the side of his head, but nothing happens except for he takes a little bit of a sidestep away from you.
Did he emit any sound?
No.
Hallock, why? You can't be hitting people. You're gonna get us kicked out.
Oh, no, this is called the scientific method.
He had a theory.
Yeah, it's trial and error.
Well, sucks. Clap him on the shoulder and walk in.
He starts flapping his arms and then moving his head back and forward.
A cockatrice? I can't even think of the name. A bird.
And he points.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
What?
Did it steal your name? I'm sorry, your voice.
She's easily amused.
And he says,
Mine too.
and he mimes a sort of someone with like a robber, with a mask and a sack over his head, and sneaking like doom 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 doom, and then does the flappy bird thing, and as if the bird is the robber, and then points to his voice. I can't mime it because I'm not DMing across the table from you, but otherwise I'd be on my feet.
Odin, do you understand what he's trying to say? Something about a bird? And like...
Some sort of bird? Something?
Yes. Are there robber birds
Oh,
here?
There seem to be. The game is afoot. Shall we look for Reuben and get on it?
Oh, I suppose so. I just feel so bad leaving him. Should we bring him along?
He points to his wrist and then points to the Hall of Illusions, indicating he's got work to do.
Yes, he's on the job.
Can you
But he
work
just-
under these circumstances?
Yeah, he shrugs. He is a mime.
That's right. A mime, right. Does make work much easier.
He gestures inside the Hall of Illusions and pushes away your cards if you want to get punched. He won't. He will give you a freebie.
In mine, and I already hate them.
All right.
What an attitude to bring to a circus. You're no different than the heckler.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's who that is.
That's right.
Oh, gods.
Well, I guess we should find Reuben, huh? And then we'll come back for the mime's voice. Seriously.
Okay, so you head through into there's tall mirrors lining the interior of this tent. The mirrors near the entrance reflect, let's see, Odin. You walk and you stand in front of a mirror and you see this tiny toddler goblin in front of you. A little bit chubbier than what you are now. You started to stretch out into your fully adult shape. And then as you move along, you move into the teenage Odin. And each of you see yourselves at different ages. And eventually, towards the end of it, you can see this completely old, crooked, head pointing forwards, jowls coming down, ancient goblin. In your autumn year.
Odin.
You can just see the wisdom on me.
Yeah. It's just dripping off your jowls. And it's a bit difficult in here because they're not just lining the walls, they're all over the place. So there's a bit of a Enter the Dragon type thing going on here. But you do see in one of the mirrors a halfling sort of dashing around.
Ah, good. Reuben!
Yes, Reuben. Reuben, we're here to help you.
Okay. Can each of you have a perception check, please? If you have investigation, you can use that instead if you choose.
Gods.
Okay. Now, what do we get? We'll call out your
23 investigation.
24.
16.
Okay. All right. Crikey. I'm just jumping back to the thing here. Yeah, so you've all done very well. Okay, so you all spot this halfling, and he's sort of leaning over and he's whispering. There's this, maybe a small girl, but she's got sort of greyish green skin, and when she turns, she's wearing a pig mask.
Oh dear, that's not amusing.
And I can show you a handout for it. Can you see the girl in the front with the blue skin?
Yeah.
And she turns slowly and looks at you with her head cocked on one side, still with this pig mask.
This wasn't the illusion I was expecting.
Mm.
Oh, gods. Reuben?
Try
And
not
that-
to hit her too, Halahawk.
The halfling is gazing worriedly into a mirror, and there's a girl in a mask can be seen. You realise that she's not next to him whispering. She is beyond the mirror. He's looking at this small girl in weathered sort of skin for someone so young, but with a pig mask, and she seems to be whispering to him through the mirror.
Reuben?
She looks at you and she sees you, Hallahawk. She hears you call Reuben, and she sort of leans over to one side, like looking around Reuben, and you see this pig mask sort of looking at you. Cold, dead eyes looking through this mask. And she turns and dashes off into the distance as if beyond this mirror. And Reuben sort of shakes his head and then looks around at you and says, oh, hello.
Yes. Reuben, who were you? What were you looking at?
Well, I was just came in here in embarrassment, really. I was about to propose.
Right, no.
She laughed at me.
Oh, no. Odin, what was going on?
Oh, there was a mannequin there that it's reminiscent of Tasha, who famous for her hideous laughter at party attractions, so it makes you
Odin,
laugh.
get to the point.
So Tasha's... so that was magic. Well, she wasn't laughing at me.
No, she's very regretful of what happened. She's outside.
Oh, well then. I won't go with the girl in that case. Let us go. And he looks around.
Yeah, Reuben, what? Right, what was that?
Oh, I met a girl in a mask, and she was asking. All my voices seem to converge, don't they? She asked me to take her hand and go with her somewhere.
Odin, is this a part of this illusion thing?
You would know very little of being a Witchlight hand. You might have done these things and come in and looked at yourself being older or younger, but you wouldn't. And it's been a long time as well since, and they cycle the things through, so get refreshed every couple of planes. So even some of these rides might be new to you, but
I've never been in this deep into the hall.
Yeah.
Could be different ones, so could well be, but feels weird.
Right, this is a weird one. Okay. Get out of here, Reuben. She's still there.
All right. So you head out with her. Let's see. And he again goes and they embrace, and he goes down on his knee again and proposes, and she accepts. And if I draw your attention to our tracker, it swings around and you can hear the calliope again pick up its change its tune almost, picking up the pace.
Go Ribbon.
And does anyone know this? It'll come to you. I've got the map here. Katy Perry.
Oh, I was going to say, that's one of those pop songs, yeah. Bad boy.
All right. But it's happier. It's a chipper music. And as you come out of the Hall of Illusions, and the timer. You've spent a bit of time now. You've traversed the place a couple of times. You do hear, as you come out, we've got plenty of spare spots in this next event, the snail races. Anyone who wants to race, step up now. Otherwise, obviously.
We have a bit of time before that big thing, right, Odin?
Yeah, we sure do.
Oh, those snail races, do you ride them?
Do you?
Yeah. Yep.
Yes, you do.
Well, you know what, in that case, I think you're a shoo-in with your lesser size and weight, you know?
It might help.
I don't. Hallowhawk, I think it'd be quite amusing to see you on a snail.
I don't listen to you anymore.
But it'd be amusing.
It'd be amusing, I think. Maybe if we all give it a try. It'd be fun to race.
One clip of a ticket gets you a seat on a snail.
Listen out for kind of footsteps.
Yeah, you know what, I like that idea, Odin. Let's all mount up, as it were.
Ticket.
Okay, so I'm going to jump back. Now, you don't have tokens on here? Oh, yes, you do. I've done it twice now, and suddenly it's all gone crazy. Okay, so who's got 2? Hello, Hawk. There we go. Get rid of one of you. Okay, and you can each choose your snail. There is in the line Shelly Moo, Wizzy, who's capable of taking size small creatures. Queen's Majesty, number 8. Number 9 for large size creatures. Flower Flash, Breakneck, and lastly Nimblefoot.
If I were to look at Bright Flash and Nimblefoot, which one looks the most angry?
They all seem to be incredibly slow. They're just chewing some large leaves that they've got. The foot is just sort of pulsing a little bit like a giant slug might, sliming their way along. But they've got a bunch of food to eat at each of their, at the bottom, and they sort of slowly reach down. And then one of them looks across at you, and its antenna eye sort of touches a leaf and pulls back in like they do, and then comes back out, tentatively probing and then looking around.
I'm going to go with the one that didn't put his eye in the leaf.
Okay, that's a good. All right. So I see Galatea, you're on Queen's Majesty.
Yep.
I got a good feeling about this guy.
And Odin, you're on Flower Flash. Whoop. I'm going to get rid of a couple just to spread the... whoops, sorry. I'm just selecting the 2 tokens and then grouping them. Do you want to see if you can move your snail? You should be able to. Okay, and Hello Hawk, I'm just going to group yours as well. Whoop, hang on a sec. Hold still, you're about to be grouped. Okay. Alright, so where'd you go, Odin? You're off somewhere.
Yeah, somehow I think my thing lagged and it's right up the very
Oh,
top.
I see.
I haven't reached. So
Oh no. Oh, there you are.
no, I can't move that snail.
Oh, you can't move the snail. Okay, let's just 1 second. Oh, I see what's happened. Okay. Right, I know what's happened. Boom. All right. I'm just going to have to resize it. And group. All right. So Kate comes out, comes pumping, and you jump up onto your snail, and they stop chewing. a couple of them spit out what they've got, and they sort of their foot seems to start pulsing a little bit, almost quivering, like they're tensed and coiled. And Hallowhawk, the one that you're on, breakneck. Is it breakneck? Yes, it is. The foot, which is just one giant muscle, sort of starts to contract, and the shell almost touches down. And with that, a official comes out and has a loud clapperboard, and they say, "On your marks, get set," and then bam, and these snails just poof go shooting out, probably far faster than you might have imagined. Definitely faster than any of you can run. And we are, and you're holding onto the reins, and this snail is just poof, pulsing along, and they go in sort of pulses, but they sort of join together. If any of you have seen Never-Ending Story, that's what we're talking about. And so, what we do for the snail race carnival locations is we go round by round, and I'm going to open the initiative tracker, and you can add yourselves into the initiative order, selecting your token and then clicking on initiative in D&D Beyond if that's the way you do it. So Odin, we've got a 7. Hallowhawk, a 7. Ooh, so you need to order yourselves based on the plus of your dexterity. And Galatea, 19. All right, so ordering descending. Okay, and what I'm going to do, just to make it a little bit easier, is I'm going to have Shalimu as your main adversary. I've got an enemy there, but that's not quite right. Okay, and what's Shalimu get rolling? I'm just going to roll a d20. Oh, Shalimu's on an 18. Okay, so Galatea, let's have a look. Okay, you can move your snail. Your snail can dash 80 feet, and so you would just move it 80 feet straight ahead. You're going to the east, and each round you can make an animal handling check, Galatea. You get an 18, which means you can get plus 22 movement. So you can move 100 feet. Can you move it, or do you want me to move you?
I can't, and everything is kind of, I don't know, transparent. I don't know if that is for everybody.
Oh, okay. I'm going to ungroup and see what we can do.
Might be on the wrong layer. Just grab stuff.
Is that how it's looking for everyone else? Like transparent, or?
My snail is, but my totem's fine.
Okay. I might just have to bring yours on top, Galatea. But
Sounds good.
yeah, if you want to move your own token, 80, like start out, move your own token to the front of the snail, like just to align with its head, and then go forward 100 feet. So from there, so you can just count 20 squares. And which means you could just hit the arrow key on the keyboard, because you'll jump 1 square each time you press it. All right, and try see if you can move your snail up too.
I think I can.
All right, awesome. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so this other one is in line with you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 20 foot back, and right behind. Do you want me to move your snail up? Your snail should be right there underneath you. Okay. Hallowhawk. Animal handling. Another 18. You do the same thing. You can go neck and neck with Galatea. And onto you, Odin.
Yeah, that'll be.
Oh, no.
Come on.
Okay. Your snail goes 20 foot less. And so you would need to be 20 foot behind Shellymoo. Hang on. Oh, yeah. What I'll do... I'm ungrouping you, Hello Hawk, and I'm giving you control of... there you go. See how you go. See if you can move Breakneck now up with you.
Okay.
And I think... Odin, you should now, I'm just going to save it, be able to save, move up Flower Flash.
Okay.
Yep, you're in line. Okay, so Flower Flash coming up in the now you can see they're coming up against a water obstacle coming up here. We're on to the next round. I need to roll a D8. And with a 5, a spectator throws a head of lettuce at one random snail, and the snail stops to eat and doesn't move this round. Oh no. Odin, you're number 1. Shellymoo, number 2. Galatea, number 3. Breakneck, number 4. Number 1, oh, Odin. Oh, your snail. Your snail finds a lettuce and for this round won't move. But Galatea, you're top of the pops right now. Oh no, Odin stays, so he skips his turn. So Galatea, can you roll your animal handling check?
Ooh.
Oh no, so you're going to move 40 foot less. So instead of 80, you'll only move 20 foot less, so you move 60. And crossing this river, each square counts as 2 squares. If you highlight and grab them both, you can, like I've just done there. Yeah, that's it. Sorry. You can highlight and grab both and then just use the arrow key in your keyboard and go 1, 2, and so on. So that's 5 foot. Do you want me to do the snail?
I think I'm just trying to map this.
Okay.
Like each square are like 2.
Oh no, so each square, so that gets you 20 foot to get to there, and you've got another 40. So now you're going to enter the water, so you'll only move 24 squares into the water, or 20 feet. There, and Shellymoo advances on you a little bit, and Hello Hawk, can you do your animal handling check? Animal handling 8. What have we got? An 8. Okay, your snail will move 10 foot less, so 70 foot. And Odin, you're skipping, and we have a possible event. A 3. Okay, so no hecklers go launching things this turn. No surprises. So we're at the top. Galatea, animal handling. See if you can urge this snail onwards. Can you see in the distance, by the way? Or is it round?
Oh no, it's round.
Yeah, okay. So what's happened is there's an ever-present mist around here, the dust of the thing. So you're not quite sure what part of the what's coming up. But Galatea, you can roll your animal handling. Oh, you got a 5. I think that's going to put you at 20 foot less, so 60 foot. Okay.
These are 40, right?
Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh no, Shelly Moo. Hello Hawk.
No, Shelly Moo.
17. All right, 20 foot more. So you'll go 100 feet now, counting 2 squares while you're in the water. And finally, Odin. Well, Hello Hawk's moving up.
Come on. You like eating so much here?
Come on.
Fetch. I'm going to chuck the seed out in front of him.
Yeah.
And use that lucky thing for an additional...
Oh, yeah, for the D8? Yeah, okay. Oh, 14 plus
14
plus D8?
18.
Okay, so you're going to move 20 foot extra, so you can move a straight 100 foot down the path.
Okay.
And you can see, and nothing happens this round. No more lettuces come sailing in. Hello Hawk, you find that there's now a bit of a chasm to cross, and there's logs going across. Each log can only have 1 snail on it, so it might create a bit of a log jam, bit of a snail jam. Galatea, your turn. Animal handling.
Sorry, it reloaded on me.
Oh yeah, you roll 20. Yep, no worries. Okay, animal handling of 10 is going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit slower. It doesn't respond to you that well, and minus 10, so you go 70 feet. 70. Which means 14 squares on here. Oh, you've okay. You go blatting forward, and you've got this chasm. Is that your full 70?
Yes, I think that's my full 70.
Okay, all right.
Right at the edge.
Okay, Shelly Moo. I'm going to do a roll here because. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 1, 2, 3. She does the same thing as you, blatting along behind you, and then realising that there's a log that needs to be gone, and so it actually has a bit of wasted movement going sideways. But she gets to the log. That'll have to be it there. Okay. Hello Hawk. A 4. That's going to be minus 20. So you get 60 feet. You can go across the log at full speed. But it'll only be a 60 foot. So 12 squares. And then Odin, last of all. This might be a bit of advantage for you because you'll spend less time in the actual water. And an 8 gives you minus 10 foot of movement, so 70.
70 foot.
Yes.
So to there, I believe it'd be 40.
Okay, we have a 4. One random snail this turn gets a stitch. I'm going to go the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, depending on who is in the order that they are. So 4 would be Hello Hawk. Here we go. Number 1. Oh no. Oh. Okay, so this will be for this coming round. Okay, round coming up. Yours is just so tired. What is your one called again? Flower Flash. Yeah, Flower Flash has got a bit of a stitch, and and needs to reduce its speed by 40 feet, regardless of what your urgings does. Galatea, do your animal handling.
What does that mean? Get a stitch?
Get a stitch? When you get a cramp in your stomach from running so hard, you know.
Cramp on your side.
Yeah, a cramp in your midriff. Galatea, how did you go? Where are you? Oh, is that a natural one?
Not so good.
Okay. So that's still a minus 20. So 60 feet across. 12 squares.
So I'm gonna have to go across the log, right?
Yeah, so you have to go sideways up. Are you going to go down or up?
Down.
Okay.
Yeah, it's even, I guess. So I'll go down.
4, 5, 6. Okay, you'll get to here. You'll clear the log. Yeah, that's it. Good one. Okay, so you're only just a short moment behind. 1, 2, 3, and Shelly Moo comes belting across. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, but Nen, Hallahawk, you're only just behind here, and it's your turn. And we're handling. Eject. Go! We have a 6, that's 20 foot less, so it's only 60 foot. You had quite a bit of gains there from the others having to go in an L shape. I needed to have some better racing music for this. Oh, 5, okay. Odin, that's a minus 20 again. Where are you? You're off my screen. Oh, there you are.
Minus 40 and a minus 20.
Oh, that's right. So instead of 80, you're going to be going 24 squares. It's not responding to you, the bloody thing. You're probably sitting on it backwards and you're trying to... Something's gone wrong. Very, very wrong. 20 squares. Okay, and we're up to the next round. I'm going to see if there's something random happens. No, it doesn't. So we're all... the crowd's just cheering you all on, and we'll see how far everyone all ends up. So Galatea, you go first. Do your animal handling. Where are you? Oh, there you are at the end of the log. 17, 20 foot more, so you get 100 squares. 100 feet, so 20 squares. Oh, yeah. Okay, so that's where you end the turn. And, then Melimoo goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's up to you, Hello Hawk. Where are you going to finish this turn? Is it going to be across the line? You can see the red line coming up. Go for it.
Oh boy.
What's the closest you start?
11.
Oh, and 11 is a minus 10. So you'll go 70 feet.
Alright.
Going diagonal only costs 1 square. It doesn't cost anything if you wanted to. Oh ho ho! The crowd goes wild again. And poor old Odin.
Come on, Odin.
Just finish. Show your spirit by finishing the race.
Grab a drink.
Okay. And let's see. So the crowd goes crazy. We have a winner. Hello Hawk. On the fastest snail, fastest jockey, despite a couple of setbacks. And a non-responsive snail, it was Speedy. What was yours called again? Who gets crowned? Breakneck. Oh, there we go.
Yes.
Okay. 160 feet. All right. Slowly, Odin on Flower Flash comes squelching his way in. Okay. I'm glad you did the snail race because I made this map specifically for it, and you don't do everything. Okay.
Just a note, as I cross the line, I'll hold my arms up, but my face is just very unenthused looking.
Okay. All right. I might be able to show you a handout from this. It's a ripper. have to change the track soon. All right, so there's a snail race. You can see what we're talking about here. With the riders all wearing those backpack wings. Let's see, but okay. So you get to go and stand up on the podium, and Hello Hawk, you are awarded a potion. And it's called an expert potion, they say. You drink this potion, and you will be expert for the next few moments. And what that means is you drink it and you feel like you'll... it's like a turbo boost. One of your dice rolls can have advantage anytime in the next hour. So you can drink it and be sort of charged up. An attack roll, a saving throw, an ability check. And it looks like it's full of a golden mist. It's not liquid that's in there. And I think if we go back to our normal services, who's second here? Galatea. You are awarded a wand. And this wand is a one-use item that can do the dancing lights cantrip. Single use. And from there, the crowd starts to disperse, and as the snails are ushered into their stalls and fed and so on. Very good. I'm going to move us back to the main carnival.
Well,
and
I feel as though all you can get are drinks.
Sorry?
Oh. No, I was just saying, seems like all you can really get are drinks.
Oh, yeah.
The wand?
The wand, yeah.
Yeah. Isn't it cute?
Yes, it looks very woody.
Yes, Woody.
So it's just gone 10:30. I think we should take a 5-minute break and then reconvene. You hear people saying the Big Top Extravaganza is going to be in 5 minutes. People are starting to make their way to the Big Top. So let's meet back up. Well, let's just meet back up in 10 minutes. So it's 10. I don't know what time it is for everyone here. It must have just gone, just ticked over for 10:30 for me. So 10:40, I'll meet back here, and we can crack on to the Big Top Extravaganza.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. See you back in 10. Okay, back in business. So where do I leave off? We're halfway through the night, and people are just starting to direct you, and not direct you, but you can hear people talking about the Big Top Extravaganza. You can see it in the distance there. It's not too far from the Hall of Illusions and the snail races that you've just been to. And it's getting on a bit. You know that there's a bit of, always a bit of drama in a place like this. Someone's had their voice stolen, and you heard that same voice heckling one of the other main attractions. You've seen some creepy child in a pig mask on the other side of a mirror trying to coax someone to go through. And partake in a lot of activities. A couple of prizes have been won. Most recently, the snail race with Breakneck. Okay.
Oh, then was your snail all right there?
Yeah.
He's not very fast on a full tummy, apparently.
No.
I think I grew a few more wrinkles during that. Whoa. That was frustrating.
It was a good. If you had a few more lettuces, it was possible in this to try and cheat your way through if you can come up with something. But like you said, if you had lettuces, you could chuck them ahead and maybe give them a bit of a boost. But for the main event, spectators file into the big top and fill rows of seats. You join them, find yourself a pew, and eventually the lights dim and a hush falls over the crowd. And a second later, a spotlight illuminates a lithe, elven figure sitting in a silver hoop suspended above the centre ring by silk ropes. This slender elf wears a dazzling suit of diamond pane mirrors and a pair of butterfly wings. Holds a strange sceptre. It's like it's got butterfly wings, like an axe blade, but instead of it being an axe, it's a delicate butterfly wing. Instead of being one axe blade, there's four of them, so in the four directions at the end. And it seems to be spinning, and he looks quite pleased that it's spinning. And he sort of almost serpentine the way he's sitting in this hoop. Clockwise, and he nods and gestures to you all, to the crowd. Well done. The mood is up. Welcome one and all to this evening's extravaganza. I am Mr. Light. Prepare to be, very dramatic pause, delighted. And of course, just like the start of a performance, suddenly these horses come running in, and tumblers, jugglers, acrobats. It involves a few of the star performers and attractions. With Mr. Light, I won't go through, what happens throughout the whole show. I'm paraphrasing here. But Mr. Light performs the role of ringmaster here. You see this hairy, Chewbacca-like bugbear, a little bit rounder, and he's got a helmet made out of a pumpkin. So it's cut into the shape, and it's even got little eye holes. And he is brought on, and they say, "Here is Hurley the Great, Burley the Great." And he comes on and performs feats of strength, bending metal bars and lifting extremely heavy things. Even Palasha makes an entrance, and she serenades the audience from a clamshell bathing pool. Candlefoot, you see, comes in. You've seen him before, and he does his sort of silent games with audience members, sort of picks one person out here and there. And all the while there's music playing with fairy dragons with bright streamers tied to their tails. And they sort of like the Olympics, synchronised swimming, but they do their synchronised flying. Or like the gymnastics ribbon event, but it's all aerial. So this is a dazzling acts of synchronised flying. Fire breathers parade about, and one in particular seems to breathe, and when there's a gout of flame, this little imp-like creature composed of fire seems to appear within it, and then does another one, continuing like a stream of fire breathing on, almost as if he's breathed out a fire breather. is there anything that are you just watching the show, or anything else throughout this time? If you're just enjoying yourselves, this goes on for an hour or so, and towards the end of the hour, it's an hour-long performance. Mr. Light seems to be having a blast and really enjoying himself. And then he stands in the middle, and the lights go down, and he sort of gestures, and he says, "And now it is time for any guests who would like to perform for the crowd."
Oh, Hallowhawk.
I do agree, Hallowhawk.
Your poem was astounding. You should go.
This is your chance.
Rabbit? Could do it. Wondrous, that race.
The poetry.
That was the highlight for me.
He says, feats of strength, feats of eloquence, feats of daring or balance. Is there anyone?
Hallowhawk. You could do all of those.
Well, I tell you what, as apparently isn't every once in a while this thing comes by, and I'm going to stand up. If I don't wait to be called, I'll head up, I guess.
Yeah, yep. So you stand up, and he says, "Oh, we have
Ooh, go Hallowhawk.
a visitor who will perform for the crowd." And Cerilith, near you, says, "Now, I will cast my guidance upon you so that you can get your D4." I think that's what guidance does. Is it D4 or advantage? I'll just quickly look it up.
Guidance is D4, yeah.
D4, yeah. So you'll get a D4 from her.
Thank you.
And she says there's she's been asking around from this. You mentioned about this bird robber. And she's put the word out amongst the other Witchlight hands, and she thinks that there is a Kenku who is a Witchlight hand who fits the description, but is a master of disguise. However, all that aside, all eyes are coming upon you as you go out to the centre of the ring. And Mr. Light seems quite impressed with you coming forwards. And he says, "What of your friends? Will they not support you in your endeavours? Come down!
Galtier, you'll be great.
Come on, you've heard the man.
Come, Odin. Both of us. Let's go.
Okay.
Oh, I don't do well with peer pressure. Okay.
All right. So, one of our hands. Whoa, well done. Yes. Good to see everyone getting into the swing of things. And Galatier and Odin, you sort of gingerly take your place beside Hallowhawk there. And what are you going to do?
Odin, Galatea. Are either of you musically inclined?
No.
I can play a violin.
Oh, do you? Good. All right, did you have one on you?
No.
Bring a vial. We can't let this hold us down. And one is brought to you.
Okay.
All right, then, Galatea, you, I don't know, dance or something.
All right.
Yeah, so just for you, Odin, you're playing the viol, and the other characters in the party out of shot. I'm not sort of having them roll dice or anything, but you do also have Theodore in the party with you, and he is a bard, and he would play along with you. And so what I'm going to class that as is your check is advantage, because he's giving you, just like when someone gives an aid to someone. So by having someone else in the party with you, it's just enhancing your likelihood of success. So the two of you can do a duet or just a bit of a jam together and play off one another.
I'd also like to have a shower of sparkles strumming along the strings when it.
Is this an illusion or?
Prestidigitation.
Prestidigitation. Okay, so you're enhancing it with illusory sparkles. I'm visioning Mad Max's guitarist on the front of the truck now. Maybe in a couple of levels. What about you, Galatea? Or what was Hello Hawk? What was the actual performance? You're looking for some backup.
All right. So what my slapdash idea is I kind of have two things right now. I'm proficient in the bird pipes, so I'm going to play that. But I'm also decently strong. So well, I can do the narrative thing later, but my intent is that I'm going to like a little beat that's played on the viol or whatever it is, I'm going to kind of like do a quick little, almost like bodybuilder expose as I rage to gain advantage on strength checks. I'm going to do things like handstand push-ups, kind of like flex a bit, but it's really going to crescendo when with one hand I'll play the bird pipes and the other I'm having Odin stand in my palm as I kind of like, bench press him up and down as I'm standing.
Okay. All right. So you incorporate your strength in the routine somehow with the music itself. Awesome. Galatea.
I guess I'll dance in the background.
Okay. All right. And for you, I'll do the same thing. I'll assume that Selith is dancing alongside you there, giving you advantage on your check. So let me jump back here. Okay, so here we go. Firstly, let's get the music going. I'll have Odin. Can you do your DC 14 charisma performance check with advantage? How are we looking? Oh, yeah, and the prestidigitation too. Oh, boomski. The advantage. So we have a natural 1 and a natural 20. All right. That's average then, isn't it? Yeah, okay. No, that's great. All right. So you're all a little bit shocked. You see those YouTube clips where people sing in front of their friends and they don't know that they can sing. And everyone's sort of, that goblin can really play. And you're just cranking that viol. It's smoking. Okay, how about the in-sync dancers on the back there? Galatea, you've got a performance check as well, again with advantage. Unless there's some other, is this going to be more of a performance, like dancing, or an acrobatics thing?
We'll go, I guess, acrobatics.
Okay, all right. So instead of charisma, it's an acrobatics check, again with advantage. So you get a second roll. You got a 6 there, so just a 3. Okay, and we've got a nice one, a 20. So there's 2 20s from the 2. So now it's up to you. Hello, Hawk.
Ladies and gentlemen, in my travels around this beautiful land, down the Short Peninsula, we came across a tribe of lizard individuals who made a grand spectacle of incorporating strength in with their musical prowess. And me and my friends will recreate that for you tonight. And I need a what?
14.
For performance, you said?
Yeah, performance.
All right.
I'll let you roll both the performance and athletics, and just take the higher of those two. So, you know, you were saying you were incorporating strength in there. So you can basically make up for bad performance with some feats of strength, or vice versa.
Okay, so one of each?
Yes, please. It's sort of like advantage. Okay, all right. So it's the athletics is not great. You sort of, as you're with these pipes, the pecs are quivering. However, all eyes are on these dancers and the smoking vial, and together the three of you pull off a group check. So it's lucky that the others were brought down with you as well. So what it means is more than half of you need to succeed. And collectively, the three of you bring the house down, and everyone's standing ovation. Yay! Everyone's likes. It's probably not as good as the special guests, the people who do this for a profession. But everyone loves to see someone from the crowd get up and give them a run for their money. And so Mr. Light is looking at you with a twinkle in his eye. Very good, but then he sort of moves away from you and says, ushers you back to your seat. And every now and then his eyes turn to where you guys are, but the show continues. There's a climax, and then they all come on in their Greatest Showman style, dancing in sync as they come on in a V, and finally the show's over, and people start to file out. And as they do, as you go to stand, there's this sort of bugbear down at the end of the aisle, at the base of the thing, and he sort of points at you and sort of gestures. I'm gesturing to the monitor where you're not, because that's where all the pictures are, over here. Come on. Mr. Witch and Mr. Light, we're impressed with your crowd skills and would like a word.
Oh, really? All right.
Okay. And from there, you are. He says, "Follow me," and he sort of starts tromping off. I'm gonna. Give you a handout for Burley.
Wow.
I love it.
So that's
Really fits the theme.
yeah. So he's got his. It is autumn, I think we established last week, and he's definitely scored himself a enormous pumpkin and fashioned it into his helmet for himself. Can't be too safe. And I'm just going to find Mr. Light and Mr. Witch. So there's Mr. Light. You should see that one coming up. Mr. Witch is quite different.
Oh.
And the bugbear, wearing dungarees and fairy wings. his helmet made out of jack-o'-lantern, sort of opens a flap through the canvas into the staff area. "Management wants to see you." And with a wave of his hand, he creates an opening in this wall of thorns that surrounds the staff area. So it's some sort of magical thing, and he's able to just part it Moses style. You go through, and he sort of claps his hands, and the gap closes back up. Each spine on this thing is about a foot long. "Nothing to worry about," he says. "The bosses are in high spirits. When the carnival's in high spirits, so are they." And
That's good to hear.
Mm-hmm. "You don't want to be at a bad carnival. Bad things happen." Then he leads you to a circle of wagons, and leaning against a particularly ostentatious wagon is an aging clown with a painted grin. He puffs on a bubble pipe, and he glares at you as the bugbear glares at the bugbear. But ignoring the bugbear just ignores the clown completely and opens the wagon's door. And let's see. And a flamboyant elf grins from ear to ear as he welcomes you into the wagon, gives a theatrical bow. I'll post it into the chat. "Please come in." It's the ringmaster from who brought you into the centre stage. "It is a delight to meet you all. I am Mr. Light, and this is my associate, Mr. Witch." Mr. Witch, a stocky elf lounging on a bunk. He just sort of nods, and he doffs his top hat.
Oh, it's nice to meet you.
"He says, and you too." And he gestures towards his sceptre, which is slowly spinning clockwise direction. He says, "This is my vein, and it picks up every nuance, every emotion of the carnival. The mood is good."
Yes, right. Yes, a pleasure to meet you both. I'm Hellahawk. My traveling group.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I'm Galatea.
"And what brings you here? Are you seeing the sights? I've heard you have eyes elsewhere as well."
Yes, it seems one of your hands actually had an issue, but we're here just to enjoy the sight.
"Oh, very good, very good."
Yes. It
What?
has been a great pleasure here. However, might I ask a question?
"Oh, proceed with all. For our star performers, of course, anything."
When at least myself came here, we already had tickets in our names. Do you know what that was?
"Oh, sometimes others may pay for others' tickets, but none of our doing. Not to do with any official policy."
All right.
"Tell me of this worker. What was the issue? What was the problem?"
Well, it seems your mime, who, is missing his voice, but and for real, not just an act.
"Lost things. Lost his voice, I see." Hmm.
Yeah.
And then
Yes, but
he looks at looks at you, Hallahawk, and he says, "I remember one much like you here many years ago, a small elf child. If that was you, you seemed such a happy, chipper little elf. Why so dour?"
Do you? I think I've been here before.
Oh,
Pretty sure I have. I can't remember much about it.
now that I think on it, I'm certain.
What? What happened? I remember seeing them come out from the sky, but when I don't remember much.
Well, young children, their minds, their young minds, their memories fade, as with the very old. But forces are at work on the other side, beyond our control. And he looks a little bit sad at that. And Mr. Light sort of looks up with a, what are you about to say sort of look. And he turns and he says, the wheel of time turns ever on. What's lost is lost. And what's gone is gone.
well,
I suppose so. I told you wanted to see us, though.
Oh, yes, we just wanted to meet the incredible performers of the evening, face to face. And he offers you an aperitif. The night draws on, and it's just like a tiny little glass of spirits of some sort.
Oh, thank you. That's mostly her doing. She's more of excited about everything you have to offer here.
Well, and he holds up his glass. Odin, you're looking a bit quiet. He looks over at you. It smells a little bit. It smells a little bit aniseedy.
Oh, are we waiting a drink?
Yes.
Oh, I do so. Sorry.
And then he has his little slammer. Ah. You guys have yours? Galatea, okay. And as you do, you feel this warm sensation. It's like a strong, sweet spirit. And each of you gain inspiration. Inspiring drink this. And so that's something that you can decide to use as you choose.
Sir, a question for you, if I may.
Mm-hmm.
When you spoke of what's lost is lost, what do you exactly mean by that?
Oh, well, some things get lost and some things found, but... And Mr. Light says, but what's lost is lost and beyond our reach, out of the carnival.
Did you lose something, Haddock?
Oh, no. Everything is exactly where it needs to be.
Oh. You know, I did see on the map there's this lost property. So you do find lost things here?
We do have a lost property. There are some things there. And some patrons that get lost find their way to the lost property tent. And Mr. Light sort of says, and what of this? You said there was trouble with one of our employees.
Yes, he lost his voice somehow.
He frowns, lost his voice?
Yes, a mime, oddly.
Right, for whatever comedy that might bring, he mimed something about a bird.
A bird? Did he lose it or was it stolen? Things don't get lost around here, you know. People think they're lost, but they're not.
Right, to Odin's point, I think he was trying to mime a robber bird. Either that or as a routine.
Sounds like kettle steam.
Kettle steam? I think his name was Candle something.
Oh, no. Candlefoot is the mime. Kettle steam is the birdman.
Oh, is he one of your attendees?
No, he's not. He's a guest. Comes often. But a bit of a troublemaker. He has a patron, a Fey Queen, Zybilna. She's queen.
Oh.
She's queen of the domain of Prismea.
Interesting. Is that why he's allowed to heckle some of your entertainers?
Well, no, we shouldn't be disturbing our entertainers. We'll have words. But Zybilna is the patron of... It's a bit complex. Zybilna is also the patron of the carnival.
Oh, interesting.
But we haven't had contact with her for some time.
Does this
What's
his name
Kettle Steam?
Kettle Steam come often as the circus does?
Oh, yes. There's a few people who love it so much that they follow us from plane to plane.
Oh, wow.
There's another one, Tumblestrum. She likes to linger in the eating area.
Interesting. Well, we have so much more to do before we lose time.
Oh,
in the
yes, you're
circus.
very good. And we are very busy too. A gift. And he quickly twists you together a balloon animal. Actually, no, he doesn't twist it. He's got some around. And he pulls them down and says, "Here, take these."
Oh, thank you. So appreciative.
They are crafted by the clown you passed on the way in, Thaco.
Thaco. Oh, well, give him my thanks.
He is a clown of few words, but many talents. Oh no, he's just shy. And
We should.
he says, "What is your favourite animal?"
That's a very good question.
Mandrill.
I guess.
What?
Mandrill.
Sure.
Okay, and Thaco, he says, "Thaco, mandrill." And Thaco gets this big long balloon. You've seen mandrills, they've got the and enormous fangs, and fashions out of the big blue butt and the giant teeth. And he fashions this mandrill out of this grey and blue balloon. And the balloon, he ties a ribbon to it, and somehow it magically floats. What about you, Sir Goblin?
I like cats.
Snails, I heard.
No.
Cats. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, cats. And Thaco does exactly the same. Fashions you a cat. And hello, Hawk the Strong. He of many push-ups.
Drop bear.
Drop bear. They only exist in Queensland.
Snow pheasant.
Snow pheasant, all right. And you end up with this lovely, completely white, but with some accented colour snow pheasant. And each of your balloons floats along behind you with a ribbon that you can just grab at any point. And with that, Burley opens the door again and sort of stands aside to let you out.
Thank you so much, and for being so generous.
Burley sort of leads you to the outside the ring of caravans.
Real quick, just as we're leaving, I'd like just to ask one final quick question.
Yep.
Do you have any performers who wear pig masks?
Can you roll an insight? How'd you go?
A 0.
Oh, okay.
So, I have things, right? Fuck. Nah, that's great. Oh, from the that's right. No, it's the drink. Okay, yeah. The little aperitif we had. I'll use that inspiration.
Inspiration, okay. And that's a re-roll, is it?
Normally, but it's however you roll it.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, go for it.
A 12.
Okay. Okay, so both of them are very good at masking their their emotions in society, and they say no one in a pig mask. But Burley, where are we, Burley? Where are you? Yeah, so Burley pulls the caravan, it leads you through the caravans, and Oof. And he sort of steps to one side and gestures, and he removes his jack-o'-lantern helmet, and you can see he's actually got a worried expression on his face. He said,
Burley, what's wrong?
He says, bad things have been happening for a while here. People and things going missing. The bosses know what they're more than they're telling, but I know it. Their hands are tied. And you lot are the first I've met who might be able to do things right, set it right.
They know, but their hands are tied.
No one else has got their eyes open, except me. Witch and Light are good guys, good fellas. But you'll need some sort of leverage to make 'em spill the beans.
Odin, what do you have to say about that? You've been working here. Have you seen anything?
Not seen much like Birdie has, anyway. Is it the patron that's perhaps part of it, Birdie?
Don't know. Zybilna's, I don't know, a fairy queen, fae godmother, something like that.
Faye.
I can help out. Well, you can need leverage. And there's two things that they love most that they can't, the carnival can't exist without it. Either Light's staff, Witch's staff, you know, his vane thing with the butterfly propeller, or Mr. Light's watch.
Are you suggesting we steal?
I guess. Could happen. Violence isn't condoned here. If you can get it, they'll probably trade information for it back. I can help you where I can.
And this is solely based on the fact that you're saying some things are going wrong. Like what things?
People going missing.
Obviously.
People going missing.
And then we have that strange mime who's missing his voice.
Uh,
And that girl with the pig mask.
I'll be honest, Galatea. I care about one of those things far less than the other. But I do get your point.
All right. Well, I'm up for it. How do we go about it?
Well,
Right. How do you suppose we steal something that's apparently always with someone?
he sort of thinks to himself. He hasn't really put a lot of thought into it. But he says, the Witchlight Monarch is chosen by Mr. Light's Witchlight Vane. Witch and Light have got no control who the monarch will be. If one of you could be the monarch, you'll get close to them.
Oh. How do we become a monarch?
Well, whoever has contributed the most to the happiness of the carnival. It's how the music changes, how the lights get brighter.
Oh, like we did with the contest.
Yes.
Oh, then it must be easy. Havelhawk's so good at raising spirits.
Oh, gods.
You're done in a jiffy.
We got it in the bag.
Witch's watch, the Witchlight watch, is attached to his waistcoat by a chain, so whoever tries to steal it needs something to break or unfasten the train. You might get help. Palasha, Candlefoot, or Dilagron.
Dilagron. Do we know him?
The great black cat.
Oh, Odin, you like cats, right?
I do.
Well, Let's convince him.
That'll be the lost property tent.
Let's head over there now.
Hey, stay away from Thaco. He's no good.
I keep hearing that name, Thaco. What was it again? What
Thaco the clown.
is it? Oh, I don't like clowns.
The balloon one, Galatea.
Oh, the balloon one. He's pretty good.
The watch is probably easier to steal if you're that way inclined, because it's smaller and tucked into his pocket.
I'm pretty sure we could do it. If I can get in just a little bit amount of space, I could probably pop over there and then, unseen, maybe grab it. I'm sure we could do it.
Well, the others might be able to help somehow.
I could.
Well, let's go and ask, inquire, and see what they can do for us.
Okay.
Keep
So-
an ear out for Candlefoot's voice, if he can help as well.
Okay.
Do him a favour.
Yep. You head outside. Burley puts his helmet back on and goes back to his sort of post, looking after the entrance to the staff area. And you are free to go. Well, we're back on the main page, I believe. Yep, we are.
All right, let's head straight to Lost Property.
Oh, all right. Hold up one there, Galatea. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. So, we were shown a bit of gratitude and interest from the owners of this carnival. And then we have a bugbear with a pumpkin on his head tell us that in order to help them, we need to steal from them. And we're okay with this.
Of course, you said it yourself. It's suspicious that our names were on those tickets. They're not telling us everything. And then on top of that, someone was missing their voice, and it's one of their workers, and they suddenly don't have any idea what happened. And then nothing gets lost here, and yet they have lost property over here with things that obviously get lost. It's just very suspicious. Don't you think?
Right, and that may be, but just to be clear, we are going to help that by burgling them.
I think it'll work. I think we can do it. We just need to go talk to this, what was his name again? The gentleman at Lost Property.
Dillagron.
Maybe help that guy with the voice.
Dillagron.
Yes, that guy.
Yeah. Oh, that was nerve-wracking. I've never met the boss.
Yeah.
Odin, do you have any level-headed contribution to this?
Well, the place is pretty unique, but I suppose this one day alone where I've gotten a chance to just not be working around, I have spotted quite a few odd things going on that I perhaps wouldn't have before. Like the Hall of Illusions, I've not seen something quite like that.
And he said you've been here before. Have you not seen anything on the Hawk? Is nothing different?
I know I've been here ages ago. As a child, I can't remember much of what I actually saw.
Do you remember ever smiling? Because you don't do it very often now, and it's kind of concerning that he said that you used to smile when he saw you here.
When Odin, when Galatea mentions that, it does strike you that you've seen Hallowhawk have a good time. You know, I think he mentioned getting into it with the poetry competition and a couple of times, but the whole time he's been completely straight-faced. In fact, never smiled once. So while Galatea might not have rung to you that, you hardly ever smile, he's actually never smiled. Even when he crossed the finish line with a snail that was just like Captain Holt from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
All right.
Look, I don't know what you're getting at. It's just a condition I've had ever since I was young. It's how do you lose the ability to smile?
How do you lose the ability to speak? Like Candlefoot. You could have.
No, I think one's a bit more common than the other.
I don't know. Try smiling. We're all capable of it. Are you telling me you don't have muscles in your jaw?
Stare stone-faced at her.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why we're going to lost property.
Okay. You head to the lost property wagon. And when I say cat, I'll show you a handout.
When I say cat, I really mean dire bear.
There's this enormous, size of a horse, black cat with 6 legs. It has 2 tentacles coming out of its shoulders, and tied onto those tentacles are these cloth butterfly wings to make it look like it has wings. So as it moves its tentacles around, the butterfly wings flap. It's got it's got sort of like elaborate things on its wrists, and golden tassels as not clothing, but like a cover that you would see on some animals, keeping them warm. But this is probably more for decoration and to make him look even more elaborate. There's a cask attached to his chin, and there's a small child with a cup, holding the cup at the tap on the cask, pouring a little bit out, and you can see that some sort of liquid, some orange fluid coming out, and the kid has a drink, and matching the colour of the cloth wings on its tentacles, there's also butterflies somehow tied or attached to its tail all along its length. It's been a very elaborate dressing up. Large feline creature. It's got midnight blue fur. The creature is roughhousing with 2 young boys. And another one of the boys says, "Again, Durla, again!" while the other one's hanging off its neck. And
You know, Odin,
Yeah.
you really undersold calling this a cat. I was imagining a tabaxi, if I'm honest.
Oh, he's fabulous. No wonder he's your favorite.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
And can you all roll nature checks for me? Okay, so Odin, you would know of this as a displacer beast. They are normally feared hunters, solo hunters, and their midnight blue skin ripples, and that projects an image of them off to the side of where they actually are. Okay. And yeah, so there's a few things, bit of gadgets and toys and water bottles, stuff like that, all around Dillagrawn. And Dillagrawn looks at you and watches you approach. And the two boys roughhousing with Dillagrawn. One of them picks up a mirrored ball, shiny, polished silver. In what is probably a rare moment of anger, Dillagrawn just like turns into, a terrifying creature. The claws suddenly come out and snatch the ball back with a incredibly fast swipe, with a snarl and a flick of its tentacles. And Viro, the young boy, sort of and just dashes away into the crowd. Dilligorn sort of instantly regains composure, and the eyes go sort of angled. You can see he's quite distraught, and craning its neck to look for the boy, and then looking back to this other boy who's still there. And with that, Dilligorn speaks to you, speaking in common, and says, "Can you get him? Fetch the boy. I can't leave this one."
Oh, the boy? Oh, okay. Where'd he go?
Well, off in a direction, but you'll have to dash off after him.
Okay.
Wait, why are we getting the boy?
The three of you dash off, looking for him.
Yeah, I probably would.
Okay. You can do a check. It'll be perception. See if you can find him in the crowd.
15.
Okay. All right. Well, you do. You find him near a candy stall after a few minutes, and with that, you can return him back to Vero. He does return Vero back, and Dilligorn looks like a little bit sheepish and grateful, and says, "My thanks."
No problem. I thought you were busy. Need to stay here.
Many years ago, my own cub vanished from this carnival without a trace. And this was her favourite toy.
I'm so sorry to hear that. That's really sad. We've actually come about things that have been going missing here as well. I don't know if you could help.
This is lost property. He tells you his cub's name is Star, for what it's worth.
Right, not so much lost property as we're to understand, but lost people, as it were.
Well, any lost people are brought to me.
Right, but apparently some aren't, and that's the concern.
Well, if they aren't brought to me, if that's what you're saying, then they aren't lost.
Interesting. So, what was the guy's name?
Dilligorn? Oh, Burley.
Early, yeah.
Burley.
Not Brawny.
Burley sent us to see you. He thinks that you could aid us in our difficult situation. It seems that things like my friend here, Hallowhawk, has said have gone missing, and that the owners of the circus know a little bit more than they're letting on.
Well, you could. Don't confront them directly. That would be unwise. But yes, I'll help you where I can. And if you're looking for lost things, will you keep your eye out for Little Star? She'd be about 400 kilos by now.
Oh, wow.
Right. How long back was this about?
Maybe 24 years.
Have you, where was the last place you found Little Star? Or seen?
Star was with me in the carnival.
Uh, any particular place in the carnival that we could start?
I don't know about where you could start, but all I have is a rumour she was following an orc child. You know, one of those pig-faced people.
Oh.
Wait. Pig-faced people.
Yes, the Hall of Illusions.
Yes, I understand, Galatea. So you know of these. What are these pig-faced people?
Well, I was told an orc. I just said orcs are known for having a pig face, snout and all that.
Well, honestly, we could still... That's something worthy of investigating, considering that gentleman that ran in there, he was about to leave with the girl, and things are going missing here. What do you think, Odin?
That's some pretty crisp, clean logic.
Well, should we go to the Hall of Illusions and figure that out, or should we continue to figure out or get information from the Witchlight, or was it? Oh my God, me and names today. The owners of the
Mr. Witch, Mr. Light.
Okay, Mr. Witch and Mr. Light. Wow.
Witchlight Carnival. We'll get there.
Well, perhaps the biggest clue we have so far is the big people. If it's indeed them.
That is true. Well, let's go back to the Hall of Illusions and see from there then. We'll make that our first stop. And then if that goes awry, then we'll come back here and we'll try to figure out a way to get information from Mr. Witch and Mr. Light.
Okay. So you make your you make your way back to the Hall of Illusions. Dilligorn says, "Here's if you're going to be keeping an eye out for Star, take this ball, and by that you'll know if if you find my cub."
Of course. And just to be clear, you are all right with aiding us in robbing your employers.
You're investigating, aren't you? Robbing? What do you mean?
God.
We're just looking to create some leverage with your bosses, so we can extract information about we're trying to find information on those that are going lost, that are not ending up at your lost place.
I see. Can you roll a persuasion with advantage, Galatea? Let me know what you got. I can see it.
Oh, 20.
Well, hey, you only needed one roll. 20? Okay.
Yep.
So Dilligorn says that she, I might be getting this mixed up, she is willing to help you in any way that she can. She advises against confronting the carnival owners. Maybe if you sneak into the staff area and spy on them, there'll be plenty of chance. Also, if you can be crowned the queen or king, the monarch.
That seems like... Sorry, I'm getting attacked. That seems like a plan then. We'll do that. And our worst case scenario is we go back to our first plan of stealing.
Right. The elaborate plan to win a lot of games, which then might get us crowned the monarch, which is theoretically the only way to get us close to these two gentlemen, to then enact the grand plan of somehow stealing from them in front of everyone.
And I mean, technically, we're halfway there because you won the race and you're really good at like poem slams or we did that whole like this thing that got us invited in the first place. So we're already halfway there. We can just keep doing that, and then on top of that, kind of go back to the Hall of Illusions and figure that out, like as a side.
Who in the gods are you?
Galatea.
Ah.
Talking like an investigator. A sleuth.
So, what do you say?
I say I'm not really comfortable with any of this, but I am a bit more concerned with this person trying to lead poor Reuben astray back in the mirrors, so we stop there.
You may, if you become monarch, the monarch is granted a boon from the carnival. You may not need to steal anything if you can earn the crown.
See, that's the more level-headed thoughts that I like.
Like I said, that'll be our first plan, and then worst case scenario.
Steal!
Everything goes awry.
Of course.
So let's continue.
Okay.
What should we do next?
Well, do we want to play games until we win something, or go investigate the halls again?
Honestly, I'm quite curious about this whole pig face thing, and I'd like to go check out the halls again.
The halls, we could simultaneously go in to play whatever games may be within and investigate.
That's
true.
That's a decent point. I guess on the way to the halls, we can see what we can pick up.
Okay.
So we're now on the lookout for two different type of people now as well.
Very true. So let's head off to the halls.
All right. You head off to the Halls of Illusion, and can everyone roll either perception or investigation, one or the other? Just as you're now sort of in sort of snooping mode, rather than just slack-jawed rubberneck looking around.
Those are good rolls, guys. Let's see what I can do.
Holy moly. Okay, so we've got a 22 of
Wow.
Rightio.
Saves them up for games.
Okay. So Odin pulled out the goods with his investigation, piecing, and Galatea. So Galatea, with your 23 perception, you've spotted, you've heard, "Oh, get out of my way, you with your boorish manners." And it's the voice. Eloquent, projecting, enunciating every syllable, and you're certain it's the voice of Candlefoot that you've heard a few times now. Odin, you, after that's pointed out, have a look at this, the character making the voice, and you can tell that there's something wrong. And you can tell that this character, which looks like a human customer, human patron, has an odd walk, an odd gait. And it's more like sort of shuffling to one side and the head's moving backwards and forwards, more like a bird. they're not quite masking everything, and you reckon they're under some sort of disguise.
I reckon that might be our guy.
Yes, I agree. I'm hearing Candlefoot's voice again.
How the hell you're up over there?
What's that?
Over there. Hollowhawk.
One with the key.
Okay, it's getting late. You've just had that little shooter from Mr. Light.
Yeah.
You're so inspired. Okay, so Hello Hawk, all three of you have you've got your eye on the snippety voice, and they don't seem to have noticed you at this point, at least.
But we definitely see him.
Yes, just making his way through the crowd.
I think let's get to him quick before he slips away.
Alright, so we're sure that's the guy.
Yes. Go on, Hollowhawk.
Fair enough. And I'm going to kind of speed walk toward him.
Okay, citizen's arrest.
I'll speed walk behind Hollowhawk.
Okay, you catch.
That'd be a sprint for me.
Okay, speed walk. So that I'm inferring from that there's a bit of deception, like you're trying to close the distance quickly without sort of calling out that he's actually being chased.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Can you roll a deception with advantage because he hasn't spotted you? How'd you go?
19.
Okay. Right. So you managed to speed walk right up behind him.
Iron bear hug.
Okay. Roll to hit. This is a surprise. Or you just go and grapple. You don't need to.
Yeah, no, I'm going for a grapple.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So just roll your athletics. He'll try and 19. Crikey.
Ooh, big oof.
How'd you go?
Oh, if I don't have advantage, I didn't get it.
No. No, but you do, and you bear hug him, and you've got him. And then I guess the other two of you can pounce as well. And you disrupt an illusion, and I'll show you. And the image shifts, and you see there's this sort of crow-looking figure wearing wings. Get your hands off me!
Oh, no. I think you have at least one thing that's not yours.
Let me see. Unhand me. It's bizarre
Not
seeing
until,
it. Yep. Go, Galatea.
Not until you return that guy's voice.
Oh, I didn't steal it. I was just borrowing it for a time.
It's stealing if you don't ask.
Don't you know that us Kenku have no voices with which we can... Our voice is not becoming...
Yes, you mimic. That doesn't give you the right to take his voice. If you want us to let go, you have to give it back. And then we have a few questions too.
Okay,
Borrowing.
he acquiesces and says, I was going to give it back anyway. Okay, ask away.
Are you working with anyone? Did you come in here with anyone?
Well, many years ago I made a pact, a fey pact with the archfey Zybilna. She rules the Feywild domain of Prismia. Something's amiss with my patron, I fear. I'm a warlock, as you probably guessed, from my powerful presence. No, poor Zybilna, or poor me, we are no longer in touch. Very disconcerting for us warlocks.
So, why were you heckling the mermaid?
Right. Losing touch with your god is a far cry from stealing things here.
Well,
And heckling. You were heckling.
Well, it's just a bit of fun.
Not fun for Asher.
And I'm about to have a bit of fun with your legs if you think this is great.
Well, I've been trying to question the carnival's owners about Prismere, and they keep dodging the question. They know more. They know more than they're letting on. And I must find Zybilna.
Well, maybe we can aid you. Maybe we can aid each other.
And Kettlesteam says that during her last visit, snooping into the staff area, they heard a conversation, and she uses her mimicry to exactly imitate, and it sounds like Mr. Light and Mr. Witch talking to one another. And you can hear Mr. Light's agitated voice. Someone is going to find out about this. They'll shut us down. And Witch, the Kettlesteam's perfect. Like Kenku would just completely perfectly imitate whatever they've ever heard. But they cannot form independent sentences of their own. Someone, we agreed to this pact. And this is Mr. Witch's voice, Mr. Light's voice, sorry. We agreed to this pact. Our hands were forced, but our eyes open. We let the coven take what it wants. In return, we get to stay in business. That's what you want, right? And I can paste that into the chat just so you don't have to.
Interesting. So they made a pact in order to keep the business going. But what was it that made them... What would make the business go down? What would shut it down?
Kettlesteam, well, I don't know. That's why I've been causing trouble in the carnival. Trying to ruffle feathers. Haha.
I don't feel like the outcome is going to be what you want.
It's not worked so far.
Did it? How so?
No, it's not worked so far.
Oh, it didn't. Yeah, okay. Well, that's my point.
I can't enter Prismia to find out what happens to Zybilna, but perhaps you can. Actually, that's brilliant.
What's brilliant?
Me.
Oh. Why are you brilliant? You still haven't come up, haven't found anything.
I can't go to Prismia to find out about what's happened to Zybilna, but you can. I have a pact with her. She's my patron. Unless you're also Archfey Zybilna warlocks.
No, I don't think. Well, anyone here? Oh, we've just met, but.
Well, assuming that your fairy friend is with you, so we'll just have to make sure about whether they're continuing. But if they are, you've got a fairy sort of with you somewhere, sort of shuffling their feet, going, I am actually looking. I am quested. I have my own patron and my own mentor, but their patron was Zybilna, and they had asked me to investigate this while I was here.
Oh,
So Theo will confirm from a different source that another warlock has said the same thing, that they've lost their touch with Zorbjorn. And Kettlestein eventually produces a corn husk doll with a thorny stem tied around its neck. Look at this corn doll. Doesn't it look like Candlefoot? And it's like a voodoo doll type thing, you know. You tie the barbed wire around its neck, and the voice is stolen.
That's horrifying.
Well, you can always unwrap the wire.
What was that going to do for you?
Well, it would enable me to cause enough ruckus to be brought before the monarch, the light, witch and light.
To which they'd tell you nothing.
Yes,
Well-
we were told that if you are, what is it called? Become the monarch.
Monarch.
Excite everyone. That you'll get brought to.
That
Like
would-
us, we were actually brought to.
That would be another way, but much harder.
Is it?
More effort.
Well, I guess yes for Kenku. Well, have you been to the Hall of Illusions?
Yes.
Did you witness a pig face?
Let's see. He says he's seen a pig-faced girl chasing someone through the tents. Not in the Hall of Illusions, though.
I see. Okay. Have you spoken? Nope. Never mind. He already saw Witch and Light, right? And they dismissed him.
No, he hasn't
Like,
had
dodged his
it.
vision?
He's tried to, and they've been dismissive
Dodgy.
and not even agreed to an audience. Take this to Candlefoot, I guess.
Thank you. We'll try to aid you and figure this out. It's going to take us some time. You didn't happen to get in here by the way of a ticket with your name on it?
No, it's cost me a fortune to keep coming all the time.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Well, I guess we'll go return this to Candlefoot
Okay.
and figure out what we can do.
So, Kettle Steam would go with you. You get back. You get back to the Hall of Illusion, which is where Candlefoot was, and he sort of looks very angry and sort of stomps up silently to, and holds out his hand, and the Kenku sort of unwraps the barbed wire, and eventually sort of Candlefoot, well, thank you, that's about time. And we're all, and he says, this is incredible, oh, you've done a wonderful thing, now I can go to Plusher, my sweet. And he, anything I can do for you, The world is yours. And he dashes off with his thespian voice to go and talk to Palasha for some reason. Now, let us... And with that, after a while, you hear this din go through the crowd, and the mood ups. And basically, there's this lively allegro calliope music playing throughout the whole thing. Everyone seems happy. There's this almost as if it's infusing all the patrons as well. There's not a cloud in the sky. A full moon's shining down. The butterflies and birds and things that you see around the place with the ribbons on them seem to almost luminous.
You see that hollow hawk, right? The brightness?
Yes, I do. This has been the strangest 4 hours of my life.
Ah, yes. It has been interesting. Maybe that's connected to what we're doing. We made someone happy.
Well, I suppose so. They were talking about contributing to the mood of the carnival, right?
Yes. Yes.
That does make you think, though, doesn't it? What that bird was saying of light and witch talking with each other about letting someone take something so they can stay in business. And if people have gone missing, strange.
Yes. It is strange.
Well, at least when we were looking for Ruben, saw this pig mask thing just walk back further into a mirror. I wonder if that might be something or just some weird magic trick or whatever, but if anything, we can see about that before setting up a grand plan to burgle the two owners of this place.
I agree. Let's head to the. Let's head in.
I still don't like mimes.
Okay, so you head inside the Hall of Illusion.
Yep.
Yes, and if I can remember my direction through a maze of mirrors, just trying to go back to where Ruben was looking into, possibly.
Okay. We've lost our goblin.
Oh, he says I have to head here now. Like I say, to head out.
Yeah, probably head out now. Okay. What time is it? Oh, it's 12:15. Crikey. All right. I think that given that, but also we're well past our sort of 3 to 4 hours. 4 hours would have been quarter of an hour ago. So what say you? Because we'll have Morella next week. We'll have Serith back. And we must have just gone, ticked over beyond. I missed the comment from Odin, the Allfather. So with that, so you go into the Hall of Mirrors, and we'll pick up your investigations of the Hall of Mirrors further next time around, possibly with Selith joining you, and with Odin back.
Yeah, sounds good.
We'll see what happens to our shifter and whether we have any other characters joining us. Maybe people that Selith may have roped into this little scheme before we move on to the next section.
Yeah, too
Good.
easy.
All right. So with that, I'm going to crank out the closing, and then we'll close out from there.
Time-hearted mother Earth awaits 1 week for thee.